It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
We could feel your love all the way.
Oh, boy, I bet they could. I bet you could.
In North Korea. It is what
Feel it later.
kept us going in the darkest of hours. It is what sustained our faith that we would come home.
Everybody's busting out their creepiest Bill Clinton impression.
I know it. Some are actually good.
Let's all try. Everybody has to do a Bill Clinton impression as to what he said to the girls.
With Free Beer.
It's time for change. Change to your underwear. Everybody's got to do it. Come on, Hot Wings. Suck it up. Mine sucked.
You're right.
Hot Wings.
How'd you girls like to see my typo dong missile? Yeah, enjoy my sustenance.
Eric Zane.
Look at my penis.
Zane's is out of the way.
Producer Joe.
You're known for your impressions.
Jeez. Oh, God. Down on your knees, Lisa Lee's sister. Oh, God.
Down on your knees, Lisa Ling's sister.
And Steve.
On the way home, we can join the Mile High Club.
Steve sounds like that creepy guy that's trying to get Chris Griffin's clothes off.
Oh, that one's great.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Don't worry, though. She told her dad I didn't inhale.
It's Monday. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. I'm Free Beer.
I'm Hot Wings.
Hi, Hot Wings.
Hello, Free Beer.
Hello, Eric Zane.
Hello.
Hello, Producer Joe.
How's it going, everybody?
Good.
Nice.
Hi, Steve.
Morning.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. Flashback later on today. Taser or orgasm. It's a game you can play.
Mm-hmm.
It's the closest thing to a home version you'll find.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this past weekend on Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
on Weekend Update, they referenced PGAD. Remember PGAD we talked about last week?
Yeah.
I don't forget what it stands for.
Persistent Genital Arousal Disorder.
Right.
It's about featured in Glamour magazine last week about
Yeah.
that woman that suffered as many as 200 orgasms a day from a warm breeze, a cool breeze,
Lights
riding
on,
in a car.
Yeah, lights on, lights off.
The darkness and light those were both ones.
Yep. I remember that.
So they had the quote unquote woman come out and address everyone. That was funny.
Huh.
But they also mentioned the cast of Celebrity Apprentice, and they said they referenced a couple of the cast that had been announced, and they said that the word celebrity had now become synonymous with the word mammal. In other words, implying that the level of celebrity had gotten so low. Are you familiar with who's on?
No, when does
This season of-
it hasn't started yet, has it? Or it has? I don't know.
It has
no,
not.
no.
It will air early next year.
All right.
Now,
Who's on?
NBC hasn't officially confirmed this, but the cast was seen together shooting a promo in New York City, so it would seem likely that the people shooting the promo
Yeah.
are probably the ones.
Yeah.
Now, the ones they showed, I believe, at the time on Saturday Night Live over his shoulder, one of them was former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had heard about that one. You might have even done that as a commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah. Of course, another reality show staple there.
All of them are either reality show staples or lower, I would say.
Okay.
Cyndi Lauper.
Wow.
Who hasn't really
Very timely.
done anything in...
Well, she did Christmas Conga. We all know that.
She did do
That's
Christmas.
all she's known for.
She did do that.
Bunga, 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 do the Christmas Conga.
That never has a Christmas
Joe.
song made more people angry than that one.
Joe, could you pull just the part where she says, bunga, 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 do the
God.
Christmas Conga?
Oh, man. The drag.
You thought you'd get through.
Thought I might make it till November before I heard Christmas Conga, but that will not be the case.
We might hear it in a minute, Hot Wings. I don't know
think
if
we
you know
might.
that.
Yeah, it seems likely.
I mean, I know it was subtle when I asked Joe to pull that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's on the way.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it might be.
It's Christmas time. I went to Sears yesterday, and when I walked in, even though Halloween is a week and a half away, all the Christmas stuff was up, and the Christmas music was playing at Sears.
All the Christmas music? was
Well, not
Christmas conga.
not 100% of the Christmas music, but I did hear only Christmas music while I was there,
Yuck.
and it kind of made me mad.
Man, you
I
know.
wish I worked for a radio station that played Christmas music starting now. And that's, by the way, happening.
You probably could across the hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Could do some special fill-in or something.
you can look forward to that. Or, don't forget, any good radio station has to play the Bonga.
Horse like bitch.
String up the new lights, brighten the cold night.
Shut your mouth, you stupid bitch.
I like it. I like it better than last year.
Yeah, I do too. But
Bonga, 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 to the Christmas conga.
Shut your mouth, you stupid bitch.
That's why, because I only
yeah,
heard.
I like that version.
I only heard.
Bonga, bonga, bonga. Bonga, 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 to the Christmas conga.
I just remember getting emails last year that were all
The
capital
earworm.
letters. Bonga, 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 and then F-U.
Bonga, bonga, bonga,
Then you wait.
to the Christmas conga.
Such a pain in the ass.
So on Celebrity Apprentice, one of the people on there is Cyndi Lauper.
Bonga, 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 to the Christmas conga.
Because Christmas and conga music are so synonymous.
They weren't, but they are now.
Bonga, bonga, bonga,
It's like doing the Kwanzaa River dance.
to the Christmas conga.
Really.
Also on Celebrity Apprentice, showing how credible this show continues to be. This one's actually a decent get, I guess. Bret Michaels from Poison. In between attempted assassinations. Remember, he was saying that someone was trying to assassinate him for a while, that there'd been multiple attempts on his life.
Yes.
That just sort of went away, which is good for him. Former baseball star and, I guess, former drug addict Darryl Strawberry is going to be in.
The straw. Boy. Yeah, what a story he was.
And then there's this cast member from 21 Jump Street who went on to have a brilliant career and star in many movies. Holly Robinson, Pete,
Oh.
who married Rodney Pete.
Yeah.
Sharon Osbourne we mentioned, Rod Blagojevich we mentioned. Now we're getting to the really good names.
Oh, the meat, huh? Sweet.
All right.
Those were just the warm-ups, like Cyndi Lauper, for example.
Bonga, bonga, bonga. Bonga, bonga, bonga.
Just as funny as Christmas conga, Sinbad will be on there.
I thought he died.
I think that was rumored. Wasn't he one of those people who had to do a press conference saying, "I'm not dead, I just invented the worst shoe ever"?
Wasn't he on Ocean's 11?
No, that's Bernie Mac.
What?
Bernie Mac was on Ocean's 11 and
That
12.
wasn't Sinbad?
No,
No.
it also wasn't
I thought
Bill Cosby,
Yeah.
Red Fox,
Wait a minute.
Richard Pryor, or Chris Rock.
I thought the guy on...
An odd bit of racism is seeping.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because I'm getting my black guys confused. But the thing is, it's weird, because Bernie Mac was a deep, dark black, and Sinbad's like a light mocha. I mean, Bernie Mac was black.
Isn't he dead? I'll bet never before has Sinbad and Bernie Mac been confused for each other. It's not like Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Jackson, where you could kind of see that they...
I know it.
Even that one's a stretch.
That's
But
like combining conga and Christmas music.
What? Huh?
Bonga, bonga, bonga.
Do the Christmas conga!
Alex, remember that comedian that worked at the radio station with us in Omaha who claimed that he would regularly get called out of the blue to go open for Sinbad? And it wasn't that we thought he wasn't funny and he couldn't open for Sinbad. We just didn't believe that Sinbad needed an opener since he was the middle act.
Bonga, bonga, bonga.
Also, comedian Carol Leifer. Never heard of her? Maybe you have.
Oh, yeah.
Australian chef Curtis Snow.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, chefs, man.
Everybody's talking about some of them. WWE wrestler Maria Kanellis. Do you know who that is, eh?
Nope. Odds are she was not allowed to use her quote-unquote wrestling name.
I bet you're right. Former wrestler Bill Goldberg. Former Olympic swimmer and host of a show on the NBA with Ahmad Rashad. Summer Sanders. And model Salida Ebanks.
Okay.
That is an
This is
amazing
miserable.
star-studded cast.
What a miserable show. And now, Blagojevich, don't think you'll get away unscathed on this one. When is this guy? Didn't he do something really, really wrong
Yeah,
at some
he's
point?
still facing federal corruption charges.
Because on tape, he basically incriminated himself with his verbiage about selling a Senate seat that the president relinquished when he became president, yes?
Yeah, and that was just the latest thing. He had tried to intimidate writers from the Chicago newspapers by threatening to block the sale of the Cubs, which was also owned by the company that owned the newspaper. There were all sorts
So
of
he's
things.
awaiting this trial.
Dirtbag.
Meanwhile,
When's
he gets
that going to happen?
Apparently after all of his TV commitments.
Judge, it's cool. I cannot be tried yet because I'm busy being on TV.
Yeah.
Is that what he's pulling off?
Yes, I'm a celebrity, so I'll have to get back to you.
Yeah, the federal trial date has been set for June 3rd next year.
Oh, my God.
Take your time.
Jeez.
Really?
Yeah, a year and a half after it's first an issue.
That seems right.
Uh-huh.
That seems great. Flashback later on this hour, as we said, Orgasm or Taser. It's a home game you can play yourself. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Sweet.
First in some cities, last in others. What are you going to do? The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. Check out the video of producer Joe's Bed of Nails challenge.
Oh, man.
That's compelling stuff. Watched a lot of that yesterday. Joe was, as you might expect, really freaked out.
Yeah.
Freaking sweet.
Yeah. Check out Joe's super sweaty pits. When he
Yeah. You get some good pit sweat there, Joe.
Sweaty all over.
Yeah. It was, you weren't nervous about it, really, until the Bed of Nails was brought into the studio and he threw the apple on it. That seemed to really change things.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny how I knew, I don't know, I mean, before the stunt, I knew that nothing was going to go wrong or probably nothing would go wrong.
You
but-
knew that?
What?
You knew that, but
Well,
something was
I don't
making
know.
you-
I didn't really worry about it until it all comes together. And then I don't know what happened. My brain went
Well,
stupid.
the guy's crazy. He sticks. How long was that nail? 4 inches? 5 inches?
I think that was a 6-inch nail.
A 6-inch nail. He stuck it up his nose. Now, when I say up his nose, I don't mean up, like towards the sky. Straight. It was more like
his
going
head.
straight into his face laterally.
When he said he could feel that clicking on the back of his skull, I don't know if he was serious or not,
No,
but
he
either
was.
way,
I'm
I
sure
think he was.
I'm sure he was. It's got to hit something at some point.
That's the other thing.
That's one of the
like-
grossest
it's like-
things I've ever seen.
It's like tink, tink, tink.
That's
was
how
so
he
bad.
hears it from inside his own head.
Scratching.
Oh, it was
Spine.
so bad, man. That guy was just a crazy maniac, man.
It was always my impression that the Bed of Nails trick was done with the nails much closer together to keep so that there would be so many of them.
Yeah.
And there still are plenty of them, but they were much further apart on that particular board, that bed of nails, than what I always imagined. I always thought that was how they spread the load, so to speak.
Man.
That was something. You can see that video at freebeerandhotwings.com. I'm guessing that nobody got up this morning and said, I wonder if there's anyone leading a parallel life to me in Somalia. That's a fact.
I hadn't thought that.
And they probably aren't. But there are two news stories this morning. One of them relates very much directly, because it does actually fall into something we've wondered about before. And that is, are there morning radio shows in other parts of the world that do things similar to us? Like is there a Somalian version of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show?
Boy, that is something, man. Yeah, to even think about. I don't think so.
Well, wait till you hear what a radio show was giving away on on their quiz show in Somalia. Their equivalent of Dumber Than Zane trivia in Somalia. I'll tell you about that in a moment. But Somalia is run by Islamic extremists.
Okay.
And Islamic extremists like to treat women like second or third class citizens, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as far as I can tell. I mean, that's all I've read.
In many places, I should say.
I mean, Saudi Arabia is a disaster area.
Yeah.
Certainly hear plenty of stories about how there's a double standard.
Yes.
Over the weekend, members of the Al-Shabaab extremist group hit the streets of Mogadishu and started rounding up women who had firm-looking breasts.
Goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The women were inspected to see if the firmness was natural
Yeah.
or if the breasts were, in fact, only looking firm because
Yeah.
they were wearing some sort of support, i.e. a bra.
We've got some audio from one of those Somali warlords, the Islamic extremists, searching for good boobs.
Oh, those are huge boobs.
That's him.
That's
No
how they sound.
accent.
It really is. It's
like Brian.
It's a parallel to life.
Uh-huh.
Any women found to be wearing a bra was ordered to take it off and shake her boobs.
Shake it. Shake it.
Wow.
This sounds like a great Joe stunt, doesn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
Hi, it's a firmness check.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You'll need to shake your tubes now.
It's known as firmness check or sexual assault.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. This is, if the ladies got, quote, mouthy, unquote,
Her breasts are huge.
they were flogged in public.
So they would whip out something and just start hitting them?
Yes.
And by mouthy, they mean if they said, hello.
Yeah.
And they beat them.
Yeah, I believe
big,
you're right.
Big uppercut right to the chops. Here, take this. Whammo.
Apparently, leaders of Al-Shabaab had decided that bras are, quote, deceptive and that it makes them a violation of Islamic law because sometimes you may court a woman based on the firmness of her bosom only to find that it was the bra holding it up and supporting it in place.
Oh, no.
I don't even know why we talk to these countries that
I don't
do this.
either.
I mean, seriously.
I mean, we ought to just bomb them or shut them out. I mean, one or the other.
I mean,
Maybe
just the
both.
fact that they live like this.
Yeah.
In this animal Stone Age caveman time, apparently there. And yet we work diplomatically with a cesspool like Saudi Arabia, and they behave like that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean,
What,
how do you even have a discussion?
So
Like normal people.
The president will say, yeah, the Saudis are good people. No, they aren't.
No.
They're filthy mongrels because of this type of behavior.
That's
That's it.
For me, that's the best argument for finding some other source of energy other than foreign oil. Because the idea that you go, you know what? We're not really going to put up with your weirdness anymore. We're not going to go to war with you.
Let's sidle up with them.
We're just going to ignore you. So you go ahead and run your backwards country however you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but don't forget you will not be getting trillions of dollars from the oil trade anymore. So all of that spending you did, well, that's going to come back to haunt you because now you'll have nothing coming in. It's
The
back
U.S.
to-
and
back
the
to
U.S.
just sand.
should encourage other countries to do the same thing. What a bunch of idiots.
Somalia has given us the FBI female booby inspectors and pirates. That's what they've given to the world in the last year. Nicely done.
Pirates that lift their head up a little too early on the boats.
That's still an awesome story, and I'm ready for it to be made into a
That
movie.
sniper. God, I wish
that
there was
was
video
cool.
of that. I wish there was video of the inside of the boat.
It's the mist.
Looks like someone threw pudding all on the inside of it.
So the other thing that Somalia gives is apparently wild radio shows.
Okay.
Last month, in honor of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, an Islamic extremist group in northern Somalia hosted a radio quiz show. Somalia version of Dumber Than Zane Trivia or Jeopardy or whatever. Now, typically, there's sort of the stereotypical prizes you win from a radio station in the United States, like concert tickets, T-shirts, maybe a CD.
Yeah. Tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes, yeah.
Bottle opener.
Hey, I got this Q105 stress ball. I used to be upset, but now I'm not.
One of those rubber things you use to help you open a pickle jar. Seriously.
When Hot Wings and I were in Omaha, every year they'd come up with all of these prizes. We had a minimal budget.
Yeah.
And they would say, all right, we got the new prizes. And it truly, I mean, this was a station targeting primarily 18 to 24-year-olds who just wanted to rock. And so then we'd have stress balls, wind-up alarm clocks.
Yeah.
Virtually, you're in Omaha. Here's something that floats that you hook on your keys in case you drop your keys in the water. No one has a boat in Omaha because the only water is the Missouri River, and no one goes on it.
Yeah, it was never. How about we just do, I don't know, like bumper stickers or some T-shirts,
or just not spend the money on stupid baby toys and actually put a GD commercial on the air telling people what they can listen for.
It was baby toys.
Mm-hmm.
It really was.
Here's your baby toys.
We might as well have given a river rattle.
We might as well have.
It's your river rattle.
Yeah.
Well, unlike the radio giveaways here, contestants in Somalia called into the radio station and answered questions about science, Somali culture, and the Quran. I assume science. It was name the 4 elements: fire, water, air, and soil.
But Quran trivia, really?
Yes.
Oh, God, what happens if you call in and get it wrong?
They kill you.
Jeez.
Man.
The first place winner was rewarded with...
Oh, let me guess. The finger of an infidel.
Yeah.
Praise be to Allah.
No, not as good.
Praise be to Allah.
Pieces from that downed Black Hawk helicopter.
However, what they were given could result in the finger of an infidel being more available.
Okay.
First place got an AK-47 assault rifle.
Oh, man.
With the station logo on it, no doubt.
Of course, it's pink.
Or it was like when we were in Knoxville, when we give away a cool prize, we had to make sure there was no logo on it in case they got drunk and wrecked it, and then they couldn't sue us. Because they could never figure out where they got it if we didn't leave a sticker on it. Second place got 2 hand grenades.
Come on, it's got to be made up.
This is
Third place got an anti-tank landmine. And fourth place is what makes me think it's all made up.
Wait a minute, anti-tank landmine?
Yes.
How do you,
which to me seems better than a...
The fact that someone
AK-47.
shows up at the front desk to pick this stuff up.
I'm here for my landmine.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to fill out this tax form, because if it's worth more than $600, we have to tax you on it.
Yeah.
Fourth place. So again, first place, AK-47. Second place, 2 hand grenades. Third place, anti-tank landmine. Fourth place, office supplies, according to this article.
Office supplies and carpet cleaning.
According to one of the quiz show's organizers, the reason the young men were rewarded with weapons is to encourage them to participate in the ongoing holy war against the enemies of Allah in Somalia.
Of course.
Good luck. Go get a rowboat and take on a naval ship. I hope it works out for you.
I bet that's an enjoyable show to listen to.
I wish it was in English.
Yeah, I know, man.
Oh, come on.
Wouldn't that be great?
Can you? And if it was on against us, we would spend all day prank calling to Holy Ramadan Quiz Day.
I know. We would.
Your fart smells funny. And then Joe would call and be the best caller ever on their show.
Yeah,
that's how it
Joe
goes.
would be very compelling.
In a moment, the flashback, taser or orgasm. That is next. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Zane has a broken penis. The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Yeah. Informational, largely.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they are.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. The flashback today. Taser or orgasm? Joe, do we have contestants that are on the line and excited to play orgasm or taser?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This came up after we were watching that show Armed and Famous, where they take the celebrities and they put them on the Muncie Police Department, and they all had to get tasered beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, part of the training.
And we were listening to Trish Stratus as she was getting tasered, and it reminded us of some other videos we've seen where women have been tasered, and they make a noise that's very similar to one you might hear during moments of ecstasy.
Yes. It's
absolutely.
It's an interesting phenomenon.
And so we're going to need contestants. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the line now, and as lines open up, we'll need 3 more because each contestant is going to get one guess as to whether or not it's orgasm or taser.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Let's welcome Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hey, guys.
How are you?
Hey.
I'm doing wonderful.
Are you prepared to play orgasm or taser?
I've got the lube and I'm ready.
Okay.
Got the lube. Oh, jeez.
He's hoping for taser then, I bet.
Yeah, obviously.
All right, we're going to play it. You'll be able to hear it over the phone, and you need to tell us whether you believe it's orgasm or taser. And if you get it correct, you will be able to go home with the thrill of knowing that you were able to guess the difference.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you win.
There are no prizes on the line here.
The thrill of
sheer
knowing.
joy. Okay. Okay, Zane, you have the first one.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
There it is. Yeah. That's right.
Whoa.
Tom, is that orgasm or taser?
That's Zane's wife listening to the Taylor Hicks winning the... Is that it?
Well done,
I'm
Tom.
going to guess that one's orgasm.
You're going to say that one is an orgasm. Eric Zane. It's not. That's a taser.
Geez, must be a pretty good taser.
Yeah, see, we told you it's hard to tell the difference.
Sorry, Tom.
Maybe I ought to get my wife a taser.
You should. That is that's from a video of a woman being tasered on YouTube.
Yeah.
That we found yesterday.
Wow.
Referenced before. All right. Let's
All
go
right.
to our second contestant.
Number
This is
2.
Ed. Hello, Ed.
Good morning.
Are you ready to play taser or orgasm?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay.
I've got extensive experience with both, so
You
I
do?
hope it helps.
Okay.
Good luck
Should
with
be
that.
in good
okay?
shape then.
By the way, one line is open if you want to get in on this. 1-800-947-3979.
Ed, you know what you're up against because you heard that first one over the phone, right?
Yes, I did.
It's
Okay.
difficult. All right. Here you go.
Yeah.
Now in short, can you play it for him again? Ed, taser or orgasm?
Let's take a guess. Listening at a Bluetooth orgasm.
That is incorrect. That is a taser. That is Trish Stratus taking the taser on Armed and Famous. One more time. That's
right. Oh, I'm going to give it to you.
Could you not turn this into Eric Zane being violent and deviant?
Yeah, it's kind of
really
disturbing when
because this
you do
game's
that kind of
borderline
stuff.
creepy anyway, and you're making it creepy by the fact that when you're playing the clip, you're going, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
No kidding, man. What the hell is wrong
Don't
with
talk.
you?
What's that?
Have you guys ever been tasered?
No, I'm trying to avoid that.
No, I'd like to not, actually.
Yep. I'm looking forward to that, like drowning. Those are both things that are not on my list of things to do.
It's hell. I volunteered for it at work, and it's definitely an attention getter.
You're an officer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, I would imagine.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, 'cause
Anywhere else, it would be a really strange thing to volunteer
No,
for.
it's a scrapbooking shop. Actually,
Ed, have you ever tasered anyone?
Oh yeah.
Do they also sound like they're having an orgasm?
Everybody has a different reaction because of the central nervous system and their vocal cords and so on. It's, it varies. I mean, some sound like they're having some ecstasy, and others sound like they're just flat out
dying.
Not dying, but paralyzed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear Trish Stratus one more time. I swear
Thank you, Ed.
I won't make a comment.
You better not.
Yeah. You like it.
I'm going to turn his mic off, Hot Wings. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's good.
You can't control yourself.
Yeah,
You're actually
okay.
making it creepy and gross.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
waiting
a
for
game
him
that
to
should
start
be
to
fun.
describe things.
This is Scott. Hi, Scott.
Hi, how you doing, guys?
Not bad. You ready to play tasered or orgasm?
Well, I thought I was, but I'm starting to wonder now.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty difficult.
All right.
Okay.
What do you say, Scott?
Well, I thought I heard a male in the background too, so I'm going to go with orgasm.
That is correct. Though, wouldn't there possibly be a male with a taser?
Yeah, because a lot of times those are the wielders of the taser.
Well, either way, Scott, your logic was correct.
Yes.
I've tased people before, and I generally don't make sounds when I'm tasing people.
Yeah. But did you hear Zane?
I would.
Yeah,
I'd be going,
Zane
yeah,
does.
yeah. You love the law, don't you? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's truly the long arm.
Judicial process. Ooh.
Thank you, Scott. All right. This is Matt. Hello, Matt.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. Taser or orgasm? We're going to play a clip for you. You ready?
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Matt, taser or orgasm?
Whoa.
Orgasm.
I honestly don't know on that one.
You sure about that?
Yep.
You've seen the movie.
That's correct.
Oh.
Well done,
I was
Matt.
there.
You were there. You were a fluffer for the dude.
Yeah, actually, I thought that was taser.
Thank you, Matt. 1-800-947-3979. I thought it was a taser, too.
Yeah, I really did.
All right. So people are 2-2 so far.
Mm-hmm.
This is Grace. Hi, Grace.
Hey, what's up?
Not bad.
Okay, well, you should know.
Yeah, because you're a lady.
Because I'm a girl, huh?
Yep.
Right.
Yep, you should be able to tell the difference.
Yep, and you've probably been tasered before.
Not that I can remember. Let's hear it.
Grace, you ready? Here we go.
Oh, my ass! Oh, I don't want to sit down anymore.
Whoa. That's a...
No, I don't touch it again!
Well, that's a totally different angle right there.
Yeah.
Grace, you want to hear that one again, or are you ready to make your guesstimation?
Can you replay it one more time for me?
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause you love it. It's making you hot. Yeah.
Ow, my ass! Oh, I don't want to sit down anymore. No, I don't want to touch it again!
Grace?
My guess is that is taser.
That is correct.
It is.
Well done, Grace.
Got shot in the butt.
Somebody hit it underneath her chair.
Mm-hmm.
So 3-2 now, listeners. The first
Yes.
two got it
Yes.
wrong. Maybe getting it
Catching
straight now.
on.
This is Chris. Hi,
Yeah.
Chris.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not bad. Taser or orgasm? Here we go.
Okay.
Chris?
Yeah.
Taser or orgasm?
Can you play that one more time for all the listeners, please?
Here we go.
That is an orgasm.
That is correct. Well done, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Chris turned his radio back up so he could
He
hear
did.
it.
He wanted to hear it
on delay.
Chris could care less about the game. He just wants to hear more of things he's never heard before.
He was recording that.
This next one's going to be a bitch, I think.
Dean in New York, you have one that Zane says is very tough. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh, geez.
Dean, you need to hear that one again?
Yeah, I'm almost done. Once more.
Oh,
no.
you idiot.
Come on. Don't interrupt me. Don't talk.
Yeah. Zane likes to hear
What
me
are you,
talk.
Wait a minute. Let me help you out. Let me give you something that will help you really, really finish off.
You like my clothes?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is so cool.
That's it. I'm done.
There you
Oh,
go.
jeez. All right. New contestant.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one orgasm or taser?
I'm going with an orgasm.
That is incorrect. That is LaToya Jackson being tasered on Almost Famous. Or not Almost Famous, on Armed and Famous. I knew it was going to happen. That's it. Thank you, Dean. Do we have one more?
We do.
All right. Joe, do we have one more contestant?
Oh, yeah, we do.
We could.
We could.
Mm-hmm.
I got one more.
Let's do one more.
All right.
Might as well use them. Joe pulled them.
Mm-hmm.
1-800-947-3979. You can email freebearandhotwings@hotmail.com. Taser or orgasm? Don in New York. Hi, Don.
What's going on?
You have the final one here.
All right.
You will decide whether listeners are really, really good at taser or orgasm or just average.
Because right now it's what? What's the
4 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
4 right, 3 wrong?
4 wrong, 3 right.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
No,
Zane
you had it right.
Zane had it
I
right.
had it right. 4 right, 3 wrong. Here we go.
That's a tough one.
Whoa.
Don, you want to hear it again?
Yeah.
Now remember what we've heard so far, because if you think in either capacity, you'll
It could be.
you can
either.
almost convince yourself.
Yeah.
Don, what do you say?
It's up to you, Don. The listeners are counting on you here.
This is very important. This is the World Taser or Orgasm Championship.
Yeah, exactly. This is science.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say orgasm.
That is correct.
You did it, man.
That's right.
You're simply the best.
58% of our listeners can tell orgasms from tasers.
Yes.
That is outstanding.
So that's nice.
Thank you, Don.
We got that going
We
for
need
us.
to go back to the first one we played, and I cannot believe that this is not an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
This one the listeners got wrong.
This one is
Somebody being
remarkable.
tasered.
This is.
This is a traffic stop. A routine traffic stop turned bad.
I don't think, or good.
Oh, she's so digging it. She's saying, shock me again. Give me the shocker.
I can't believe how long it lasts.
Shocker.
That doesn't sound like she's really that into it at the end there. They actually didn't have a taser. They just knocked a power line down and threw it on her.
Jeez, it seemed like it.
Goodness gracious. Taser.
Uh-huh.
Or orgasm.
Wow.
It was hard to tell.
It was hard to tell, man. I couldn't tell.
Distracting.
No way.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwigs.com. So we're in an era where gadgets are coming out all the time, as you guys well know.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Here's one that's coming out next year from a British company called Vicon.
Okay.
It is a digital camera that will help you document every aspect of your life. I'm not sure why.
How's it different than a regular camera that you can document every aspect of your life with?
Yeah.
By taking photos.
Well, another camera, you would have to actually consciously hold it up and take the photos.
Yeah.
This one is called the Review, and the Review hangs around your neck as a pendant, and you can program it to automatically take pictures every 30 seconds. Whenever light changes in an environment, so if somebody opens a window or you move to a more well-lit area, or whenever the camera detects body heat.
Wow, that sounds stupid.
The Review was initially...
Boy, that was really gay.
...designed as a tool to help jog the memories of Alzheimer's patients, because it would document everything they were seeing, then you could show them later.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can hold up to 30,000 photos at a time, which is just about 10 days' worth of photos taken at 30-second intervals. It's going to sell for $820. The problem that I imagine is a pendant hanging around your neck is just going to take a lot of boring pictures.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine being an Alzheimer's patient. Oh, yeah. I really want those memories jogged. This is the nursing home internist bashing you in the face because you looked at them sideways. This is the maggot-covered food you're being forced to choke down. Here's the wall you get to talk to because no one will come see you.
This is the picture of your family members that you disappoint each time you don't remember them when they come into the room.
Here's an image of your festering, gangrenous foot.
Here's the inside of the soup bowl from when you keeled over into it for 30 minutes.
And here's a picture of the feces you play with and smear on your teeth.
Sounds pretty awesome when you say it that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who wouldn't want one of those?
Oh, man, can't wait to get those. Oh, boy. Send them over to Walgreens. Get those developed on the computer. Just sit there for hours. And
get those things done.
Wow, look at that poo. Yummy.
You know we'll be at radio camp in a year or so, and some morning show we talk, we got this Review, and I wear it everywhere I go, and we put them all on the website. People love to know that I wash my car in the afternoon.
Man, it's so great. Yeah, I mean, there's like 28 photos of my shower curtain from when I'm sitting on the toilet, and that's all I can see.
Top 5 phones.
It's awesome.
Here's images of all the jobs I'm searching for.
Yeah, here's a picture of Craigslist when I look for jobs and careers that are other than radio. Well, you can get the Review if you want. I don't know how.
Yeah, it's only like
I don't know how.
so it's cool. Look it up.
It is, yeah. It's, I think they said $820, something like that.
Yeah, just do a Google search for useless camera.
Yeah.
You'll find it, I'm sure.
Another way that works is to, since most people have their cell phone with them almost all the time, is when you see something interesting, use that to take a photo.
Or just realize you don't have to take a photo of everything and live. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I choose to be a little bit more participatory in my picture taking.
Yeah.
I'll just pick and choose
Good for
those
you.
moments of my life that are actually interesting.
It seems like with that Review, you would spend most of your time not enjoying pictures, but deleting 99 out of every 100 of them.
Yeah, just realizing how boring most of your day is.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, this is great.
It's a very depressing thought, actually. FreeBeerandHotWigs.com. Look at all our photos.
Yep.
Take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wigs Show.
It's time, isn't it?
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show with Eric Zane.
Bike, swim, run, looking kind of dumb. When I ride a road bike, my joint gets numb. Heading on the road, kicking my legs, looking like a hobbit just to finish the race. I'm a little fella, just gonna try to run that race and maybe get by. Head out on the swim, stroke to stroke, looking for a girl that says no poke. On the bike, ride through transition. I like fishing. Easy rhyme on the microphone. Looking for a rap and a girl to bone.
Producer Joe.
Amy Winehouse, she can't rap, but neither can I. They both sound like crap. Look at me in my stupid booth. I got big old donkey tooth. That is stupid. It doesn't make sense.
Hot Wings.
Trying to work in words like Forte ain't so easy, it sounds kind of gay. My name is Hot Wings. I like to rap. This is not good. It's crap.
Yeah. As soon as you said rap, I knew you were destined to say the word crap because Joe had said it.
Yeah.
And what else are you going to do?
Yeah, what else rhymed?
Free beer.
I knew when I said everybody takes a turn that someday this would turn to the king of burn. Now it's my turn. I started out real fast, but this rap is made of glass. I'm gonna fail. It'll be real soon, but I think I've gone far enough to make my wife do a swoon.
And Steve.
Subject matter, Steve.
I'm the new guy. My name is Steve. When I sneeze, I wipe my nose on my sleeve. I have any idea what to say, so I'm just going to say that Zane is gay. That's all I got, so I'm going to go, and this is the worst thing that I've ever done.
Heard on the show.
Heard on the show. You could have finished real nice.
That was a good try.
That was terrific.
We all suck.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
It's Monday. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. You heard the Freestyle Rap Challenge. What you didn't hear were any interns. Lurch?
Yeah.
How's that sound make you feel?
Not good.
That's awesome.
Is Marissa still in there? Did she run?
That's awesome.
She ran?
Yep.
It's just you?
Yep.
Have you ever freestyle rapped before?
Nope, and I'm not gonna.
I find that
But
shocking.
then you're not going to.
I find that
Not
amazing.
happening.
You seem like a rapper.
Marissa's out looking for boys, and you're over here
That's awesome.
doing your thing.
You don't even want to try it a little bit?
Nope.
No, we'll play.
It's terrible.
I don't want to take
Not
part.
awesome at
I
all.
don't want everybody to have fun.
That's awesome.
I don't want everyone to have
It's okay.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com.
Well, interesting dynamic yesterday as I was a spectator at a marathon watching a lot of my friends participate, and including my brother, Push-Up Paul.
Yeah.
Push-Up Paul on the scene. Now, boy, he is old-fashioned. When it comes to training and eating and preparing, he doesn't do anything. He runs. That's all. There's nothing different. He puts in miles, hard miles. And I don't know everything. In fact, I know little. But I do know people who do know things, and what they tell me is that there's you need a little more differentiation than just going out every day and putting in these massively long baton death march runs.
So he doesn't, like when you were training for your marathon, you had a specific routine where it was like you started out maybe 2 miles, then 4 miles, and you I don't remember what the numbers were, but you
did
built
it more
up.
like him.
You did,
and he does that too. But there's a little bit more to it. You need to get some speed work in. There's some strength training that's important. And it's not as simple as just going out and plodding along.
Yeah.
That I know. But he doesn't care. He will not listen to anybody, and I don't try to tell him.
Does he try to adjust his eating at all? Or, I mean, does he just still drink a bunch of beer and then go running?
Yes. In fact, he has taught himself through trial and error that the way to prepare for a race is 18 hours before, don't eat food.
Oh.
Eat these little energy gels that electrolyte replacement gels are called GU, that you do during the race, and you take one about 45 minutes before, and then when you're participating, about 30 minutes before, and every 45 minutes during the race, eat a goo. It's 100 calories.
Mm-hmm.
You drink a swig of water behind it. It helps you so you don't crash.
Probably really gives you something to look forward to.
And
so 18 hours before a race, he avoids everything but goo.
He doesn't eat anything. He eats goo and drinks beer. He drank 7 beers the night before.
Oh, my God.
He goes, I get my caloric intake from beer. And I'm like, you seem like your 1950s marathon guy.
But even worse.
He's like the NFL guys you see in those old videos from NFL films. Like, he didn't do anything in the offseason, so today, to get ready for the sturdy NFL season, watch him as he runs into a steering wheel of a 1955 Ford.
Yeah, that's like attached to a blocking dummy that they made. And I don't know enough about this to be able to tell him what to do, or to even if I did, if I would have any authority, any reason to do it, because people do what works for them, and Paul insists that this works for him. But he's always wanted to improve his time, and his time has stayed the same for what the 10 or 11 that he's done.
You mean he's plateaued on his beer diet prior to a race?
His beer and goo race plan has left him stuck at a certain time.
He can't seem to get past the hump in some manner.
What you said seems true. Okay? Now, when he runs, when you run, you're supposed to run as upright as you can, because every inch forward that your head is from up straight, equates to about 30 pounds worth of pressure on your back, your hamstrings, your calves.
Yeah.
When running, it's even more. He runs like he's retarded. He runs like this.
So like hunched forward.
His back is straight, but it's forward. It's like he's leaning, and it's
like he's trying to get to the tape first for 26 and a half miles.
It's almost like he's bent over, like he's about to cross the finish line, and he lunges. But he does that for 4 hours.
Wow.
And the craziest thing, he says he won't listen to you. I go, you should try to see. Now, if he hired somebody, even just, well, I shouldn't say hired somebody. He's having a hard time financially, so he can't really hire anybody. But if he would at least just try something different, even just for 10 minutes.
Well, I would think that you could find some fairly good information like what you're providing now on this thing called the Internet.
Yeah.
It's Internet.
There's at least 2 websites dedicated to running.
Well, you bring it up with him, and you can tell it's not a good thing to talk about because he doesn't want to hear it. So I just watch. And so he begins, and he takes off running. And beforehand, it's interesting because we've talked about Push-Up Paul enough that if we were to ever meet a listener, and I were to say, this is Push-Up Paul, they'd react the way, like he's a character on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he realized that because he started like tough-talking people for no apparent reason. Every person I introduced him to, he used like an obscenity and called them a name.
How unpleasant.
You know my pal Jimmy, the guy who is very successful at running.
Yes, he's a good runner.
And he's a hell of an athlete. And in fact, the marathon we were at, he won the very first one of these. And he did very well in this race, even though he hadn't really trained for it that much. He still came in at a speedy 2 hours and 53 minutes. Well, I was telling Paul about him over the course of the day, and I said, yeah, you're going to meet this dude, Jimmy, really cool guy, you know, nice dude. This is, in fact, when he was in the Try for AT, and he won that, and then took his winnings and donated them to the charity, and I was bragging about that. I go, oh, this is a great story, nice guy.
Yeah.
Well, I introduced him to Paul after Paul just got done lumbering through his marathon, and he finished in just over 4 hours, and 4 hours and 1 minute, and I introduced him to Jimmy. Jimmy's been done for an hour and 15 minutes. He's having some ice cream. He's showered, cleaned up.
Yeah.
He's just hanging out. He looks fresh as a daisy. And I go, Paul, this is Jimmy. Paul looks at him and goes, you a-hole. He's never met this guy ever, and he calls him an a-hole. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, then...
What a unique greeting plan.
Yeah, so he, hopefully he wasn't too offended. we then go inside of the YMCA, which is right there. The race is held right next to the YMCA. Paul's going to change his clothes.
Okay.
I come across another person. Paul assumes I know this person as a listener. And while this person may listen, he goes to my church.
Okay.
And he lives in my neighborhood, and he's a really nice guy. His name is David. One of the sweetest people you'd ever meet. And Paul is so thinking that everybody is a listener and everything's a gag that Paul is like within earshot, but but far enough away that he's not in the conversation. I go to this guy, David. I go, Dave. And he goes, yeah, I'm here for a different reason. He wasn't there he wasn't running. Mm-hmm. He was just like watching or something. I go, yeah, so was I. My brother ran. My brother over there. He did it in 4 hours and 1 minute. And the guy goes, wow, man, that's great. Good job. And he says to me, and then he says in a loud voice, he goes, you know, I did it in 4 hours and 8 minutes, but I was 25 then. Mm-hmm. He says to Paul. Now, what does that say to you?
That would suggest that even though I was a younger man, I did worse than you did today as an old man.
So good job.
Good job. Yeah.
It's a compliment.
Paul's 49.
Right.
You know what Paul said? Yeah, shut up, a-hole.
Oh.
He said, yeah, shut up, a-hole.
Wow.
But he didn't say a-hole. He said the bad word. He said that to him. It's the YMCA. It's big Christian values. There's Bible verse on the wall of this place. Yeah. You know? Well, and then I'm like, oh, no. And then David looks at him sideways and tilts his head and he goes, no, I was complimenting you. He tries to explain. I felt so bad for the guy. Yeah. And I'm like, Paul, why do you have to do, I'm a dickhead and you're an animal. You are not, I don't even like to go anywhere with you when you do that.
That's brutal.
And then,
that would have been mortifying.
And then, so I try to do, kind of like when Freebeer has to apologize for me, I'm apologizing for Paul. I look at David, I go, yeah, sorry about that. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, God. So,
your brother is functionally stupid, I think.
This isn't the first time he's been reminded not to swear in the wrong places.
I've got more of this I got to tell you about.
Yeah.
Remember at the wake when everybody kept saying, please stop saying the F word so many times in front of children.
Yeah, he has no inside voice.
We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
Here's a huge hole. Wow!
That's where the Broncos made a Chippewa sandwich. Hold the helmet.
I like that.
You're very welcome.
Chippewa sandwich.
Might have just taken the sack.
What's that second one? Is that like the B team for some stupid
B?
I believe it was the B team.
Seems generous.
Guy goes, I like that. And the other guy goes, you're welcome.
Hold the helmet.
I like that.
You're very welcome.
Chippewa sandwich.
You're very welcome.
Very coy. Look at me.
No, you're not funny.
You're not funny at all. You're painfully unfunny.
That's comedy.
1-800-947-3979. In a moment, the Today Show had another story about a high school football team allowing someone that was that was at some sort of disadvantage to do something great on the gridiron.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, blind kid scores a touchdown.
How long before they put a kid's coffin and his body in the backfield, stuff the ball in the coffin, and they start shoving it down the field? How long before that happens?
I'll bet it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think, as ridiculous as it sounds, well, it's a final tribute to a kid who loved football.
No, it's not. You're stupid.
They attach him to like one of those tackling skids.
I put him on a sled.
I'm convinced now that coaches are doing it just to get more attention for their program. Just to get on TV.
We figured we'd strap Jimmy's body to the uprights in a memoriam. The guy kicks a field goal that bounces off his face.
It comes up a little bit short.
It's like in Road Warrior when they'd strap a dead body on the front of Lord Humongous's vehicle when he travel around the high desert.
He's doing what he loved. Standing and getting hit in the face with a football. 1-800-947-3979. We'll get to that story in a moment. Also, if you missed our 1-minute impressions from Friday, you missed something Las Vegas quality.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of good.
Yeah.
But not the good part of Vegas. I mean way off the strip.
So I'm wrapping up my start with push-up Paul, making it just coming on way too strong in front of people out at the marathon. He's calling people names who I'm introducing him to. This is Paul. You're an a-hole. What is your deal? He was all frustrated. And then I think he realized it. And because I said to him after I met the guy from my church, and introduced him to Paul, I said, yeah, Paul did the marathon in 4 hours and 1 minute. And the guy goes, wow, that's great. I did 4:08, but I was 25 then, which is a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Paul says, you're an a-hole. That was his response. I had to explain to the guy that he doesn't mean it. He just met him.
Yeah.
Paul starts walking away. I go, yeah, I don't know that guy from the radio. He's not like, I know him from my church. He's a really nice guy. And Paul goes, no, I wonder if maybe I should stop offending people. What? You mean you know you're doing it? yeah, so you're trying to? Is it? What are you doing? I didn't even want to go anywhere. I wanted to go home.
That would be awkward. I don't blame you.
Oh, my gosh.
Everywhere you go, hoping that he doesn't say something stupid and alienate someone.
And then every other word, where it's before the race started, it's a crowded area in the lobby of this YMCA. Everybody's just staying warm.
Yeah.
Every other word is the F word. It's not okay to do that. People don't talk like that. If you're at a party, everybody's just hanging out, trying to be cool, just hanging out, and some guy is saying the F word every other word, you don't want to be next to that guy.
I wonder why he had such a hard time for so long finding a job. Do you think it might be because he's so surly all the time for no reason?
It might be his personality.
I mean, I'm just guessing.
I wonder if he can turn it off for a job interview.
I think he can. I don't think
I would
it's gotten
hope
to that point. Isn't that just screwed up?
Yeah.
Who does that?
I don't
Stop
know.
it!
Around strangers, people you've never met.
Nobody knows you. And then he cops an attitude if you tell him, I don't give a F. Stop it. People don't act like that.
He did that at your wife's father's wake when someone said, I think it was Regular Mike said, hey, Paul.
Please.
Regular Mike, your other brother. Paul, could you stop saying the F word so much in front of not only the children who know you, but a lot of other people from Diana's side of the family that don't know you? All of their children are out here in the backyard. Could you stop saying the F word?
And after the funeral,
Yeah, Paul.
I think his response was, well, not my effing problem. They're going to learn it anyway. That kind of thing.
It's like, Paul, do something less offensive. I don't know. Go take a dump in the deceased's mouth. Anything would be less offensive than you being here talking. Stop!
I will.
You can't behave like that at 50.
That's the scary thing.
Do what I want.
Okay. You will too.
I'm tough.
I'm going to stay here and swear and eat government cheese.
I'll never change any of my behaviors. They're working for me.
Quit it!
I'll never change any of my behaviors. I like this pattern. Thank you.
I'm pleased with 401. Just because I said that I want to improve my time. I don't want to. Yeah, F it.
I want my time to get better because I said to. Not because I made it to.
God, you lumbering Neanderthal. What is wrong with you, caveman?
Good question, I suppose.
Yeah.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. We'll get to the football player, the blind football player, a little bit later. Otherwise, we're not going to have time.
Joe, can you get blinded by the light for that blind kid?
Yeah. I couldn't believe yesterday. My wife wanted to watch a movie in the afternoon, so we watched a movie.
Yeah.
And the movie ended. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm going to see what late game is on from the NFL.
Uh-oh, I know what you're going to talk about.
And I was shocked to turn the TV on and see that the field in Foxborough was covered in snow. And I went, I love snow games.
I
My
do
favorite.
Too.
Yeah, they're always fun to watch.
I like the old school uniforms, too.
Yeah.
I like the old Oilers uniforms.
The Patriots and the Titans / Oilers. I go, oh, man, it's got to be a good smash-mouth game going on. And they were just going to halftime, so they didn't have that score up on the screen, when they, as they're walking and they're doing the interview with the coach. And then I hear the interview, and I go, it makes it sound like this isn't very close. It's probably like 27-10 or something. And then I saw it, 45-0. How can the Titans have gone from being the team with the best regular season last year to now being one of a couple winless teams?
Yeah, I mean, how can your defense be so bad that during a snowstorm with 25-mile-an-hour winds, the opposing team's quarterback manages to throw 5 touchdowns
Boy, some of those
in
guys
a quarter?
are so open,
in
man.
1 quarter.
It's crazy.
I mean, how can you be that bad?
The fact that it was a surprise when they didn't go to the Super Bowl last year. It was a surprise with the season they had.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, to be a fan of that football team, and now, as Lions fans, we know what it's like to be the laughing stock of the league. We always are.
Right.
But I think this is a million times worse because everybody expected the fact that they came up short last year.
Mm-hmm.
They expected nothing less than the Super Bowl this year and a win.
Right. The Lions have never really been that good.
No.
They've had a couple
but
of
this is
okay
devastating.
years,
this
but
is
yeah,
terrible. How does this happen?
So bad. They look inept.
What happened to the Titans?
They started out, remember, they opened the season against the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road, and that was a very good football game, a game that either team could have won. The Steelers ended up winning late.
Right.
And then the next week they had a close game, then all of a sudden you're 0-3, and now it looks like there's been a stamp put on the outside of an envelope, and the season has been dropped in the mail.
And they're 0-6, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's
terrible.
Dead in the water. Jeff Fisher's had a long career, probably the longest tenured coach in the NFL, but you got to wonder if he can make it through a season like that.
That
what
sucks. That is
It was
just
so bad Vince
terrible.
Young played.
He did?
He did.
Did he run the wrong way and take his shoes off and put them on his ears?
Yeah, did he cry at any point?
All I know is he had a very
Hey, don't y'all think that's beautiful right there?
minor stat line of 0 for 2. I assume they were both interceptions, but I don't know that for a fact.
That's him.
I used to play for 4 years.
After the game, he went back to the locker room to read Harold in the Purple Crayon.
Oh, yeah.
You mean to have someone read Harold in the Purple Crayon to him. Nate in Nashville, what happened to the Titans?
I have a theory on why they're doing so bad. I think it's because they're trying to get Tim Tebow.
You think so?
They're actually trying to do bad.
You know what? People have tried that for years to talk about how a team would do that. That is impossible. These are the best of the best pro football players. They would never, ever do that. Every play, they give it all. Some might let up here and there, but for the most part, these guys want to win. I've never bought the mail it in thing.
Maybe at the end of the year, you might see coaches start giving time to more guys that they think may not be as good.
Yeah.
Key players don't get hurt.
I don't think Jeff Fisher's willing to put his least guys out there. Thank you, Nate.
No, especially not yet.
Yeah.
They're going to try to make the playoffs. I mean, they're going to try, but I've never seen a team fall so hard like that.
Not in such a totally 100% opposite direction. What did they win? Their first 10 last year? First 11? I don't know.
Something like that. I mean, they were great.
Yeah, right now it's New England and New Orleans. How about that?
And New Orleans looks like world beaters, truly. In a moment, our 1-minute impressions. This was inspired by Dana Carvey. We'll get to that in a moment. You're in for a treat. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm going to let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
I wish you would come take one of my awards so I could black his eye in front of everybody.
That's awesome.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. On Friday, we had to try 1-minute impressions. You'll understand why. This is it. So yesterday I was in the office and I saw a link on Fark that said Dana Carvey 18 impressions in 1 minute on Leno. And I'm not going to lie, I pulled it up because I thought it was going to be awful. And I'm not sure why I thought that, because I used to love Dana Carvey. But the last time I saw his, I guess I do know why. The last time I saw his stand-up, it wasn't funny.
No, and it's more of it's almost like a kid kind of humor with him.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But this ended up being pretty funny. And it's Dana Carvey's 18 impressions in 1 minute on Jay Leno.
Do we have a clock? Start the clock. 1, 3, 2, 1. Christopher Walken. Don't know why. Robert Shaw. Shark in the water. John Lovitz. Hello. Adam Sandler. Johnny Carson. Regis Philbin. Anyway, you ready for this? Conan O'Brien. Jay Leno. Kevin Eubanks. Tom Brokaw. Nancy Pelosi.
That's my favorite.
Barney Frank. George Sr. Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton. Horny. Al Gore. This planet is heating up. Dick Cheney. Arnold Schwarzenegger. John McCain. My friends.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
It is. I like the impressions where he doesn't say anything.
Yeah. Like
That's
Nancy Pelosi. We're gonna see if we can do this.
I will have difficulty because I'll be laughing because Joe will be laughing. And when Joe laughs, I laugh. That's always
it's
trouble.
very difficult.
Does
Always
anyone
trouble.
want to go first, other than Joe, who can't?
I'll go first.
Okay. Got the ticking clock.
I do.
Yep.
Hot Wings.
I'll need the ticking.
60 seconds to do as many impressions as you
Okay.
can.
Good.
Hot
All
Wings. On your mark. Are you ready?
I think so. Yeah.
On your mark. Get set. Go.
Okay. Tom Brokaw. NBC Nightly News. Miss Piggy. Watch it, frog. Bert. Hey, Bert. Bend over, Bert. Ernie. Or no, that was Ernie. This is Bert. Hey, Bert.
All about flow.
Mickey Mouse. Hey, Minnie, show me your boobs. Goofy. Gosh, Mickey. Grover. Grover. Near. Far. Near. Far.
Call him Grovey.
Grover. Snuffleupagus. Hey, bird. Paul McCartney. Oh, we just used to sit around and wrote songs with one another.
Or any British guy.
Or any British guy. John Lennon.
Yeah, that's right. I left the band because I married such a horrible wench.
That's all I got.
That's all you got.
You had 6 seconds left. Outstanding.
Thanks.
You felt the pressure.
It's a lot more. Yeah, well, that one was too. That's just me. That's just me talking.
Squidward. That would be the same thing.
I'm going to start out with a run of presidents.
Okay,
because
good.
I'm so good at my political impressions.
Okay,
excellent.
very
All right.
good.
You got the timer ready?
I do. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
On your mark, get set, go. Reagan. Well, we start bombing in 5 minutes. Clinton. It's time for change. George Herbert Walker Bush. 1,000 points of light. W. Bush. The strategery is very important. Carson. That is some weird, wild stuff. Ed, tell them all about it. Keith Jackson. Oh, good golly, we got some hog bellies up front. Dan Patrick. He makes a shot, and he's in fuego.
Yeah.
Jay Leno. He's doing all that pretty good. Nixon. Crook. Melanie. I'm gonna be a fatty for all of my life. Pee Wee Herman. Arnold. California is stupid. Not the best. Anonymous Latino. I have a sister. And some marijuana. Johnny Cash. I've been having a sex with a lot of different ladies. This water's bad. Donkey from Shrek. Well, hey there. Why don't we go do some things without thinking of things? And any baby.
God, I hate it when you do that.
Yeah, I hate baby voice.
I got an extra 6 seconds.
Well done. All right.
Well, you had to get baby in there.
Okay, I'm going to go.
Very good.
That was good. I thought it was pretty good.
That was very good.
Okay.
The best one was Dan Patrick.
Your Dan Patrick and your Johnny Carson are both very good. You've been doing those since college.
Johnny Carson is an impression of Dana Carvey doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It also sounds like my impression of Carcinio.
Yeah.
just so you know. Who's next? Eric Zane?
I will go next.
Eric Zane. Then Steve. Then Joe. I think Joe and Steve are going to have to wait till the next segment.
Okay, you ready?
Eric Zane. 60 seconds on the clock. On your mark. Get set. Go.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get off the cell phone, bitch wife.
George W. The turkey vulture will rule the sky. Old coach in Major League.
Somebody ought to teach that boy some control.
Eddie Midget. Rush Limbaugh, I'm acting and can't believe you're buying this dribble. Howard Stern, I invented everything, Robin. Ted Nugent, I will fillet the backstraps while searching for the spirit of the wild. My dad, hey, Jack, I love you like a son. My mom, nothing I say is sequitur. My stepmom, my third-grade education got me all of this. My stepdad, there's a kidney stone in my penis. Pass the dinner rolls. Randy Macho Man Savage. Oh, yeah. Snap into irrelevance. Hot Wings. What's the deal with double wrap bread?
Outstanding. Oh, that was good.
Dude, the coach from Major League was good.
Yeah, do that one again. No one knows his name, but
I don't know.
We all know who you
Coach
meant.
from Major League. Get Vaughn in there. Somebody teach that boy some control.
Would you tell Dorn to get his body in front of the ball?
Get in front of it, Dorn.
You can do Sling Blade too, I'll bet. That's halfway there.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
The boy says that potted meat is full of peckers. Hand me them French fried taters.
Steve?
Yeah.
Are you excited? Because right now, it's time for your 60 seconds of impressions, inspired by Dana Carvey on the Jay Leno show this week.
I should probably ask you guys if you're excited about my impressions.
Oh, yes.
Because they're, man,
Yes.
you're going to be blown away.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're that good.
It's going to be like a cast of stars is in my producer booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to close my eyes so it's like I'm meeting them for the first time.
Can you do an impression of an efficient producer and then stick with it for some time?
I can do my best.
That was rough. That was a brutal attack. That was like...
That's how it is, huh?
Yeah.
That was not fair.
That's what you're bringing.
Look at Joe. It wasn't even directed at Joe, and he's wincing.
Yeah, that was not fair.
All right, Steve.
All right.
60 seconds. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
On your mark, get set, go.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Maybe it's a tumor.
It's not a tumor. Hulk Hogan. Hey, brother, say your prayers and eat your vitamins. Mike Tyson.
I beat up girls and bite boxes' ears off, and I'm very unapologetic for when I do it.
Michael Jackson.
I used to touch boys, but then I died.
George Bush Sr. Read my lips. No new taxes.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump. Mom always said, life is like a box of chocolates.
Oh, that's a good
You
one
never
right
know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Richard Nixon. People want to know if their president is a crook. And I'm not a crook.
That's a good one, too.
Fat Albert. Hey, 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 it's Fat Albert.
Not so much.
Kermit the Frog. Hey, yo, it's Kermit the Frog.
That's good.
Producer Joe's mom.
I do not think it's funny.
Andrew, the well-spoken Cuban man intern. Why, hello. Yes, I am very well-spoken Cuban man intern with quite the well-spoken hairy Cuban man back. And Asian woman.
Me so horny. We love you long time.
Oh, yeah.
Very offensive.
There you go. That's
Asian
good.
woman. Outstanding, though.
Yeah, that was
well
very
done.
good. Very good.
Like the rest of them, some were really good. Some were there.
Uh-huh.
Some filled some time.
I thought you did pretty good for the short notice, considering we did not let you in on this bit till 1 minute ago.
Yeah. Now, Joe, you had all day to prepare.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So your expectations are very high. So
high.
we'll come back to you. Jackie Man voice.
Yeah. You ready, Jackie? I know you've been answering phones that we asked you to get, and then 1 minute prior to that, we asked you to come up with a list. This should be good and long.
I've got 3.
Okay,
good.
just stop
All
when
right.
you're done.
Okay,
They're probably
here's
of
my
all
3.
big husky men.
Ready. They actually are all men.
Number 1, James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
First one, Dodgeball's White Whitman. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody. Sylvester Stallone. Yo, Adrian. And Steve Urkel. Did I do that?
Oh, yeah.
That was an excellent one.
You're
That was
fired.
terrific.
Those are my 3. You can't fire me. I'm an intern. I'm
I
an idiot.
wish we could.
First person ever to do a White Whitman impression. Ben Stiller's character. Well, Joe,
All
that's a
right.
tough act to follow.
Yeah, what are you going to do, Joe?
How many impressions are you going to grace us with, Joe?
You have like 90?
It's close.
I hope you do all of your good ones.
All right. Okay.
15.
15!
Okay. All right.
No way.
I hope our timer's longer.
Joe, you ready?
Uh-huh. Let's do it.
On your mark.
Focus. Here we go. This is it.
On your mark. Get set.
This is it.
Go!
Bill Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Andrew Dice Clay. Oh! Dana Carvey doing Bush. Wouldn't be prudent. Woody Woodpecker. Joe Namath. I want to kiss you. The Tono guy. Tono. Joey from Blossom. Whoa! Balloon Boy. Free Beer's wife. Hey, Free Beer! Sammy Davis Jr. Hey, babe. My mom. I love anal. Abu from The Simpsons. Thank you. Come again. Retarded Bills player. I was I was just reading right. Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Library guy. Aaron Carpenter.
I was just reading right. Oh, God. Too much, man. That's awesome. Got any listeners who want to get in on this yet?
Do.
Oh, good. Awesome. I know they're better.
Yeah.
They're always good. Right, Joe?
Hello, George.
Hello?
Hey.
George, are you doing one impression or a bulk of impressions?
Oh, I've got a list.
Okay, good.
Excellent.
Good. So you've been writing things down, and you are prepared, right, George?
Yes, sir.
Okay, George. No profanity.
Okay.
On your mark. Same format as everybody else. Say who it is and then do it, okay? On your mark. Get set. Go.
Crush of the Clown. I got a call from Sling Blade. I like that potted meat. Chris from Family Guy. Yeah, there's an evil monkey in my closet. Peter from Family Guy. How are you doing this? That's soft. I got a monster. Hey, we got to move those boxes over here. I got Forrest Gump. I'm going to go home to Greenbow, Alabama. Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog here. Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster. I got a Weed Eater.
Hang on.
Okay,
Time. I did.
Thank God.
I wanted to know if he actually thought he was good at those.
When is he going to start?
Those were
the best.
Truly awful.
Well, the best one was Weed Whacker. This is Kyle who emailed and said he was awesome. Hi, Kyle.
Oh, good.
All right, sweet.
Thank God.
How you guys doing?
Great.
Like I said, I don't have too many voices, but
that's okay. That's all right.
We're
just looking for quality.
I'm not even going to give you the timer. Just let you roll.
Okay.
All right.
Ready when you are. On your mark. Get set. Go.
No, sorry. This is Gollum. Smeagol. But the masters is Narcissus. No, the masters is but the Narcissus.
I hate him. I hate this guy. It's too long. You only need one line.
Just one line.
Yeah. You only need one line.
We don't want to hear you reenact a scene.
Yeah, don't do the whole scene. Just a line.
Roger. Furby. Furby, me, hungry.
It's very similar to Smeagol. Okay.
Yep.
Mufasa. All things come together in the circle of life.
That's awesome.
That's right, Frankie.
Not bad.
No, yes, it was.
Like I said, I don't have many, but
no, it was great.
But I think what you lose in quantity, you also lose in quality.
Yeah.
No, you're not funny.
You're not funny at all. You're painfully unfunny.
Dirty Pollock.
What? Thank you, Kyle.
That's comedy.
Bummer for Kyle. 1-800-947-3979. Hot Wings focusing on Michael Jackson's dad, Joe.
Yeah.
We'll get to that at the end of the next segment. And we've focused on local commercials before. But there's a certain type of business that seems to accelerate the suckitude when it comes to bad local commercials, and that is the pawn shop. We'll highlight some of those coming up in a moment. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
Aaron Rodgers puts it in the right spot. Right there. Oh.
And get some luck, or you just sit on it.
Looks it right into his body.
1-800-947-3979. The Carolina-Tampa game yesterday.
Oh, boy, I heard about this. You were talking.
Crazy dirty hit that we'll have that Hot Wings and Zane, you guys haven't seen yet. We'll have you check that out during headlines. If you haven't seen it, that is linked at freebeerandhotwings.com. Nearly started a fight between the two teams, and I mean one of those fights where I remember University of Miami and Florida International got in a fight where it actually was out of control. And this was on the verge of that. The referees did a good job of separating key guys because the guy that made this illegal hit.
And it may not have been like dirty implies it was he intentionally said, I know you're catching it fair, but sometimes they time it and they're just looking for the big hit, but it isn't exactly like it intended to be dirty. I've seen that happen.
You could make an argument that it was poor timing or dirty. Either way, I guess none of us can say what was in the dude's mind and heart when he did it. But
he didn't get up and taunt the guy or anything, did he?
He didn't have time. He was getting clobbered by other guys who were immediately pissed as soon as it happened.
Well, that's good. Football needs that because in hockey, if you do something to somebody, and a lot of time you'll get another guy. Like if you go after the goalie or a skill player, the thug will come in and make you pay for that one.
Right.
That needs to happen in football more.
Could you imagine if that did happen in football like it does in hockey? There's some nasty play, and then everybody kind of lets it go, and then as soon as the next play starts, two guys don't bother with the play, and they just start fighting.
I bet that does happen on some level. Maybe not out in front of the cameras and everything. But
I don't know.
I think guys have long memories on stuff like that.
You know, when hockey guys actually will square off, like center ice.
That's what I mean. Like you get two football players, the play's about to, just as it begins, everybody just sort of stops and two guys go to the center of the field.
I don't know why they don't take off their helmets. I don't know why that doesn't happen because, I mean, you would think in a collision sport like that would happen because in hockey, that's a special moment. I mean, fans go, uh-oh, I mean, it's okay. Yeah. But in any other sport, are you kidding me? You'd be suspended for the year or a few games or something like that.
Yeah.
But in hockey, get in the box for 5. Shut up. Don't do it again. Come back out and do it again.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they have rules to keep it from getting completely out of control. And
that's why I love hockey. I really do.
Well, if there was ever going to be a squared-off one-on-one fight, guy that was involved in this would have been in on it. Well, again, you can see that at freebeerandhotwings.com. Speaking of football, there's been and maybe this always happened, and the internet kind of changed the amount of attention. But there's been a rash over the last few years of stories of players, mostly in football, but basketball and some other sports as well, that have some sort of disability being allowed their special moment as a lesson in camaraderie, whatever it might be. And in this particular case, it's a blind football player at a high school level who got that special moment. He and his coach and his teammates appeared on the Today Show. And at least his participation in this particular case is more genuine than some of the other ones. Like we talked about the one a couple weeks ago with the kid who I think he had Down syndrome.
Yes.
Was that right?
Yes.
No, or severe autism, whatever it was, where they handed the ball off and no one touched him, and he ran down the field, and we were like, well, I suppose, as long as it's great for him, but we speculated the idea that what if his autism isn't as severe, and he's like, come on, I'm normal, I'm fine, leave me alone.
He can see that no one is trying, but that wasn't the case. He celebrated, so that was cool.
Yeah, so it was okay because he didn't know. Yeah, when I heard this story about the blind kid, I go, oh my God, that's not going to be like the Down syndrome kid or whatever, because he's blind. He'll know that everyone's just letting him go, but that wasn't the case.
All right, here we go.
Well, for many teenage boys, playing high school football is a normal rite of passage. But for Tyler Brown, a junior from Macomb, Ohio, the chance to play has been life-changing. Tyler has been legally blind since birth, and recently he not only got the chance to suit up for the Macomb High School Panthers, but he scored a touchdown. Tyler joins us now, along with his coach, Chris Alge, and team.
Now, when they're talking about that, they show the highlight.
Yeah.
And he was lined up on a goal line situation, and he basically ran a quarterback sneak, and the other team tried to stop it. This wasn't one of those things where it was the parting of the Red Sea.
So, no, it was a legitimate football play.
Yeah, they tried to stop it. He got good blocking. His running backs and his fullback kind of plowed into his back to help push the pile across.
Yeah, they basically picked him up and pushed him through.
Did they?
If you just saw the highlight, you wouldn't think it was any different than any other quarterback sneak.
No, if there's any play that he could run, it would be that one.
Yes.
Okay. He can time it where, 2 steps and the ball should be in my bread basket, or if I'm hiking it like he is here, I can just grab it from the center and I'm gone.
Yeah, so that wasn't the first play that he had attempted. That's not the first thing that they had utilized.
Tell me he did a double reverse.
He did not.
Or Statue of Liberty. That's what I want to see him do. Statue of Liberty.
He went out and caught a 58-yard pass.
Flea flicker.
He might be a great quarterback. The defensive back could not read his eyes. I have
true.
no idea where he's going to throw it.
They're all skittery. I don't know.
Yeah, one's going to the left.
They're real deep and weird. I don't know.
One's white. All you see is white part of eye, and it's quivering. His shaky eye is throwing me off.
With his coach, Chris Algie, and teammates Dylan Mears, Corey Fry, and Clay Lilly. It's wonderful to have all of you with us. We really appreciate it. I know you had to get up early. I know you've had games already this weekend.
Hopefully that kid's not on the tracks.
Let's start with you, Coach
he?
Algie, and get a sense of what happened
Coach
here.
Algie?
I know Tyler's been the team's manager and been very dedicated to your team. What made you decide to put him in the game?
By the way, what does team manager do? Does anybody know, or is that just a title for the kid who can't do anything?
It's a title for the kid who's really into the team but can't do anything.
Yeah.
Usually.
You've got poor bone structure, so why don't you be our manager? And the players will haze you and throw underwear at you and occasionally tell you about the sex they've had while you were at home playing Dungeons and Dragons.
You're usually kind of like a glorified mascot for the team.
Way to go, manager.
I mean, really, like even in my own high school, we didn't have like a special needs kid as manager, but it was always a guy who was really into the team, but he was just way too small to play.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. So he is liver punched.
Yeah.
Well, this summer, Tyler was really lifting weights and getting bigger, and I mentioned to him that, Tyler, I think you ought to suit up with us and join the team, and it would be nice to get you in the game and just get to experience high school football like every other kid does, and that's sort of where it took off.
I
and,
didn't get to.
He had his physical and passed that, and
Coach
started practicing with the team, and the opportunity came up earlier in the year to get him in a game at nose guard at the end of the Van Buren game, and then.
When they said that, I thought, now, for those who watch football, you know that nose guard is the center of the defensive line. How is a blind guy going to play defense? Does he just tackle anyone who comes near him?
I think
He's
so,
holding down the kicker on the sideline?
He
doing?
tackled a cheerleader.
He's got the referee down, pig piling him.
He's shoving a bench.
He runs out of the stadium and tackles a VW.
And how does he... And on the defensive line, you have to go when the ball is snapped.
Yeah.
How does he know? I mean, I'm sure his hearing is far more in tune than I, but talk about a guy who could draw off with a fake count set. Offsides again. Way to go, blind nose guard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, he doesn't hear the ball snap, and the center plows over him like he's an old lady.
Yeah, that's a thing. Or the center backs up and lets this lumbering dope just buzz right by him, then trips him.
I don't think it's bad that the coach let him play, but I think he put him out there in a position that his skill set is not made for.
Yeah, Coach, why don't you, while you're at it, why don't you have him kick field goals or punt, Coach Jerk?
I like the idea of them setting up to kick field goals and him kicking it just sideways right into the stands.
Okay, you're the return man, Tyler. Get out there.
He kicks it into the stands. It goes out of the stadium.
Left, and the coach is yelling, warmer, warmer, colder, colder. Hurry, they're coming down the field.
There's a fumble, and everyone's going, Marco, Polo.
A couple weeks ago, he had a chance to get in the Van Loo game, and the rest is history.
So, Tyler, how did you feel when you got to play in that game? Were you nervous?
Oh, yes, definitely. I was very nervous.
Mm-hmm. And you went in...
The first game I was. The second game I wasn't as nervous.
Yeah, I had all that playing time.
What happened when you went in the actual game where you scored the touchdown? You went in and played at first. You didn't score the first time you were in, and then you got called in at the very end of the game, right?
Yep. I got stuffed the first time, and then I fumbled it away the second time. So I thought I missed out on my opportunity.
You know, because I'm blind.
And then in the fourth quarter, Dylan Mears caught a screen pass and got tackled at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
And then Coach Algie said, hey, you're going in and trying it again. So he put me at quarterback, and then these two guys behind me just kind of wrapped me up and threw me in.
And Corey and Clay, I know you did your 1 yard. You were with him helping push him over the edge. But, Clay, you were the one that actually told Tyler, right? Because he couldn't see, tell him he'd scored, right?
I hate it when these fish out of water interviewers ask questions.
Well, and
they don't even have their
info down.
Yeah, you're right. It's terrible all the way around because you get these high school kids and they're always half retarded anyway. Where they always
and plus he plays football, so you know he's stupid.
Yeah, and she's asking him yes/no. She's asking all these kids yes/no questions, so they're not going to expand on it.
No.
So did you tell him that he got in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we kept it a secret till we were on the bus, and then we hit him in the face with bars of soap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you, Dylan? I know that you've been working to score all season as well, and you've known Tyler since you were in kindergarten, right? But in a sense, this is sort of a shared touchdown, the two of you together.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What?
Good opportunity for him to score a touchdown.
And
I think, Tyler, I think what the lady is saying
is
that you have your vision and he has more touchdowns than you. You're pathetic.
Yeah, how does that feel? He's your good buddy. And he's blind and he scored.
This chick doing the interview is starting to come unglued here because she's stammering.
Good opportunity for him to score a touchdown.
And we'll leave the last word to you, Coach Algie. I just want for our viewers to know, the other team didn't know Tyler was blind, so he really achieved this on his own.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, he did. I mean, the first time he got whooped on pretty good. I mean, they shoved him back, and like we said, the second time he fumbled a chance, and we didn't think, we thought the opportunity had passed, and then like Dylan Mears has a scored a touchdown and gets tackled on the one, so we're calling him the sacrificial lamb. And the funny thing was our center
bust out the big parachute and make the kids pass their presidential fitness exam by doing one pull-up.
Hey, bar hang, get ready to go. Shuttle relay time.
Yeah.
I got some erasers from math class.
Get out the pieces of wood with casters on the bottom and have the kids roam around the gym floor playing crab football.
Don't forget when kickball, 4 foul balls and you're out.
At halftime said, Coach, put him at quarterback. He can take snaps all the time.
He's one of those coaches that during the school year, he walks around the halls wearing shorts and cleats, a whistle around his neck in the hallway, breaking up fights.
In this case, he's not even a teacher. He's just there during the day to make sure his boys do right by God.
Yep. Yeah. He's flipping kids' books.
He's actually like the gym teacher on that show, Glee.
Yeah. Did you ever get your books flipped by some a-hole meathead? That was always great.
Yeah.
I've got all my punt class books under my arm. Some stupid jock flips them out. And I hate football players. I hate them, man.
Store my homework in the pages of the book, making it 10 times worse.
If
I put it in a folder, it'd be fine, but inside a book.
Some meathead linebacker kicks my ass, flips the books, my shoes fall off.
Might as well have been an ejector seat the way I was all disheveled.
Whatever, thanks.
In a moment, Target has had to stop selling a Halloween costume because some people found it offensive. What is it? We'll tell you. Also, your offensive Halloween costume that you're planning, because there's somebody listening right now who thinks they have something genius that's going to alienate everyone. That is next. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hotwig Show.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
He's having a miserable afternoon with the interceptions and the decision on that play to take the huge sack.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. Texas's ball, 1st and 10 at the 18 on the recovery of the muff.
Okay, there it is, the muff.
That's the biggest hole a Baltimore running back has seen today.
How do they not know that those things are hilarious?
I don't know.
I think they love it.
Oh, yeah. A muff, and I'm going to go give a guy, and then the whole thing about he needs to get to the sidelines and have the coach give him a blow. Muff and blow.
That last one, Dan Dierdorf from the Minnesota Vikings Baltimore Ravens game. That game was 27-10 in the fourth quarter.
Vikes.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it was 27-17, then 30-17, and then Baltimore scored 2 touchdowns in what seemed like 5 minutes.
Yep.
And not 5 minutes game time, 5 minutes real time. And it probably was pretty close to that. And all of a sudden, they were down, and then the Vikings went down the field.
Old man Favre, man, he chucked it like a Wrangler commercial.
Mm-hmm. It really was. That was a great pass. That was classic Favre. dodging the tackler and then just looking like he's throwing it as hard as he can. And the receiver goes up, getting dragged down by the Baltimore defensive back, and just makes the catch, and then they kick the field goal.
It's like one of those plays that I always used to make fun of whenever it seems like Favre, the game would, at one point, it's like he's in the huddle and with his accent says, all right, everybody go long. All right, you just fly. Just head down the field. Just fly. Just look for it. It's going to be there at some point. And he just, runs around a little and just wings the effer. And, half the time he gets picked off. And then the rest of the time something amazing happens.
Yeah. Even that one he had a couple weeks ago where he threw it to the back of the end zone. The receiver made a great catch. He just flung that one.
Yeah. And
that's why people like him. And the only reason people hate him is because of the flip-flopping and stuff.
Did you see the Samsung commercial with him?
With Sears?
Oh, for Sears?
Yeah,
that's
brilliant.
He couldn't make up his mind. He goes, I can't take it. Oh, wait a minute.
I got to give him credit, even
that's cool.
Whether he gets paid for that or not. The fact that he was willing to participate in something that was making fun of him.
It is pretty funny.
They're 6-0 now, right?
Yeah,
Minnesota.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, I'm still waiting to see if his health will hold out this year. But if it does, man, holy cow! The Saints and the Vikes are on a collision course.
They are. 1-800-947-3979. So Halloween is a week and a half away or so, 2 weeks. Everybody's starting to think about their costume.
Hot Wings Little Baby. It has to, you realize, has to be either a pumpkin.
A pumpkin.
Yeah. And you have to say pumpkin. You can't say pumpkin. With the baby dressed up as.
Look at my little baby pumpkin.
Let's see my pumpkin. Yeah. And they have the hat with the green thing on top.
I don't think I can do that.
Your wife will dress the baby. I'm guessing.
Probably.
What do you think? Maybe a flower?
God, I hope not.
A little baseball player, and that's LIL.
Yeah, that's possible.
A little baseball player.
Yeah, with some eye black.
Right.
I guess you should always put that on your baby's eyes.
It's good.
It's oil.
You want to actually get it in there. Yeah. Use actual cork.
You don't have any idea if there's going to be a costume for Grayson?
No, I don't know. Maybe no. Baby in a bag. Maybe just put him in a little
something adorable,
a paper bag, and go look. Baby in a bag. I don't know.
Maybe he can be a water skier, and because of the size of his feet, he won't need skis.
He won't. He does have huge feet.
You see, this kid's going to be wearing some boats by the age of 1.
Yeah, good luck ordering shoes online for the next 20 years.
He'll be wearing my shoes to kindergarten.
Yeah. Are you going to take him trick-or-treating?
No.
Because that would violate everything you believed previously.
He'll just be a prop for the house this year.
When people come over.
It's for all the neighbors.
Yep, that's what they do. They do that. Are there kids in your neighborhood?
Yeah, there are kids.
There's a bunch of kids. Okay.
Yeah. So they'll come by, and he'll be dressed something silly like a bunny or God knows what, and a little bear, and there'll be a...
Well, if you're an adult looking for a costume, you may no longer choose this one. You may be able to find it on eBay or something, but Target has pulled a costume they had been selling called Illegal Alien. It featured an alien mask, a green card, and an orange jumpsuit that had Illegal Alien written across the front.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
They were trying to be clever.
This is posted in photos of freebeerandhotwings.com.
Yep. How could that be? I could see how it would be offensive. If as part of the Illegal Alien costume, it came with a sombrero festooned with little dingle balls around it or a drug rug or something, but it's an orange jumpsuit with an alien mask. They're just doing a play on word. No, how can that be offensive?
It's a pun.
For God's sakes.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebearandhotwings.com. Andrea, did you have an offensive costume?
Oh, yeah. 2001, my ex decided it would be funny to dress up as a bomber and go to a Halloween party with some of our friends that we haven't seen in a long time. Well, nobody recognized him. He had this white trench coat on, hair done up in a turban.
So it's a month removed.
Makeup. Yeah, and like this horrible fake chest hair. But on his body, he had strapped to him these like road flares, fake road flares, all duct taped to his body, and everybody's like, "Who are you? What are you?" And
he had to explain it.
Like he's a flasher, and they're like, "Oh, that's just wrong."
He should have. It would have been hilarious if he realized after one bad interaction outside of the house that it was a bad idea, but he was committed to it. So then he walked in and he changed his mind. What are you? I'm Rocket Man. I'm defending.
He totally knew.
Yeah, I'm road flare guy.
No, I'm like that's horrific. I'm mortified I won't go out in public with you. That's just wrong after everything that happened on 9/11.
Yeah.
It'll be funny. And, you know, I have to say our friends have a horrible sense of humor, but they all laughed.
Yeah.
They did? Oh, yeah.
I guess the time. It had been 5 weeks. It's tragedy plus time equals funny.
Yeah, plenty of time had gone by, so.
1-800-947-3979. Tom writes, I'm going to a party this year at my friend's house where I'll pretty much compete for who can rack their brains for the best costume. So my friend Michelle and I decided to go do a couple costume. We're going to go as marital abuse. She's going to wear what is essentially an I Love Lucy costume, big sunglasses with bruise makeup around her eye and on her arm. I'm going to wear a suit and put on red Halloween makeup on my knuckles.
Wow, that's hilarious.
It's not even funny.
No,
it's not even clever.
It's not funny. It's not creative.
I'm going to be a beat-up spouse.
This person says, I'm going as Steve Irwin, and my 2-year-old is going as a stingray.
Little late, jerk.
Wow. So topical.
Yeah, it really is.
So timely.
I'm going as Natalie Wood.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
Crazy, man. Oh, man, everybody's talking about it.
By the way, if you're any one of the 1,000 people planning on going as a used tampon.
Used tampon.
That seems to be the most common email. I'm going to wear all red and attach a white rope to my back.
That's comedy.
Boy.
You should know that you're not the only one who's going to do that. Ryan in Grand Rapids. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, guys. Love the show. How you doing?
Good, Ryan. What did your girlfriend go at?
My girlfriend bought the sexy nurse outfit, and then she doctored it up with, she bought little 4 or 5-inch plastic dolls and had them hanging from coat hooks, little coat hangers. And on her name tag, her name was Miss Carriage, and there was little bits of blood and fake umbilical cords everywhere, and not too many people thought it was hilarious.
I'm sure there were no people that night who had experienced the heartbreak of a miscarriage who had to then see that hilarious.
No.
Because people don't. A lot of times,
babies are funny.
People have a miscarriage and they don't tell a lot of people. That's not something they send out an e-card about.
Not usually.
Yeah,
not usually.
So they were babies. They weren't like embryos that looked all yolky.
Yeah, they were little babies.
Thank you, Ryan. You should break up with her.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's one thing to be gross.
That's right, yolky.
Stupid, but just going out of your way to be completely offensive I don't know if I'd do that.
Speaking of completely offensive, Bernie in Maine. Hi, Bernie.
Hey, Kaboobie, guys.
Kaboobie. Yeah. You also went for the be really offensive method, didn't you?
Yes, I did. A couple of years ago, I dressed up as an aborted fetus.
What? How was that received, Bernie?
Well, some people were trying to figure out exactly what I was at first, but after you get past the dumb people, they were pretty shocked, and I dare not go into a room full of women, that's for sure.
Did you have a fun night that night? Because that doesn't seem like fun to me. Wondering if I was alienating people that I was meeting the whole time.
It's Halloween. I mean, you're just trying to have fun. There's a little bit of shock value involved, obviously.
You are. You're a shock jock.
Yeah, you're crazy. People don't know what Bernie's going to do.
Can anybody guess what's going to happen right now?
No idea.
All this talk about abortion is making me super wet.
Either that or a form of protest singing was on the way.
Yeah. Or Joe's mother.
Want an abortion.
This is Sam in Maine. Hi, Sam.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey. Good. What was your costume that offended everyone?
I'm actually planning on going in another week or so here as the Shocker, the obscene hand gesture.
Not bad.
I
Funny.
found that little doozy online. Pretty exciting.
So what is it's an actual pre-made costume that makes you look like the Shocker gesture?
Oh, yeah, it's like a giant hand. You put it on over yourself, and it is the Shocker, and it's huge.
That's the first good one I've heard.
That one, yeah. That one actually, because that's not
right, so. That one's kind of funny.
So his head would be the one in the pink, is what we're saying.
Yeah. All right. Here's a picture of it. I actually found it. They got it on Amazon.
Okay. His head is part of Two in the Stink, then.
Yeah.
In a moment, can men breastfeed? We'll have the answer. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hotwig Show.
More sounds of the game with the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
They say Jay Cutler thinks he can fit it into the smallest of spots.
That's where the Broncos made a Chippewa sandwich. Hold the helmet.
I like that.
You're very welcome. I thought the helmet was the quality part of that.
I like the whole thing.
Dominique Foxworth comes up and he has no chance. He just goes into a butt slide as he goes by. That's a new term. I'm not sure that's been used in the football lexicon before.
Not sure it'll be used again.
Deerdorf loves a good butt slide.
Yeah.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebearandhotwings.com. The floating edition of What Hot Wings Thinks comes up at the end of the segment. What is your topic today, Joe Jackson?
It is about Joe Jackson and his general douchebaggery.
Last week after the show, we talked to a man in Sweden who has an unusual science experiment going on about male breastfeeding. Can a man breastfeed? We don't think so. But there's a gentleman who does.
Milk was a bad choice.
We talked to him yesterday after the show. This is how it went. Ragnar?
Yeah, hi.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Welcome to
dinner with my father and my kid.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. Is your name, is it pronounced Ragnar?
Well kind of. Not really, but
really?
Ragnar.
How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, Ragnar, but I know.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. I think we all know I'm just going to say Ragnar because I don't know that I can pull off what you just said.
It sounded the same to me. That's the thing. But nevertheless.
How do you say your last name?
Bengtsson.
Bengtsson.
I was 100% wrong on both of those. Well, you are in the news for a very unique reason. What is your belief and your experiment that's put you in the news?
Well, I'm with an experiment with Channel 8 in Sweden, where we are trying to see if, by stimulating my nipples with a breast pump, if that is enough in order to make my breast to start producing breast milk.
Why?
For me personally, I got a kid 2 years ago, and I felt that I would have liked to breastfeed if I could, but well, since I'm a man, I thought that's not really possible.
Sure.
Okay. But then I was reading a bit about it, and there was a documentary in Sweden about this on the public service channel. That they made a small documentary of it and interviewed a doctor at the biggest Swedish medical academy.
Okay.
In Stockholm. And she's been writing a bit of articles about this, that it should be able to work because I think it's called mammal glands or something in English, but the things that produce breast milk, in men are pretty developed, so they should be able to start functioning just by stimulating them. So that was why, and why on my personal view I got interested in it.
All right, stop right there, because we want to focus on the interesting stuff, and everything you've said post the physiology of it is killing me in the boredom level. So now, is this child your biological child?
My child is a biological child.
Okay. Yes. So
I don't know if you. There's this video on the internet where I try to breastfeed a child, but that's not my child. That's
that was a borrowed kid.
Yeah, that's a borrowed kid.
When you borrowed it, did you say to the parent, "I'm going to go put your child's mouth on my boob"?
Yeah, there are these, when they do television shows, they often use, I don't know what it's called in English, but the people that aren't really getting paid in television shows, they're just like people.
They're called extras here,
right. Fluffers.
Yeah, in America they're called fluffers.
Fluffers, okay, so fluffers. Mm-hmm. Then there's this bank on the internet where you can browse through parents who've added their children there because they want them to.
Yeah, well, typically, you might not be familiar with the term, but a man who wants to breastfeed in the United States is known as face.
Face.
Right.
All right.
So you would be a face.
I'm fine with all the words you can come up to call me.
I think he knows English well enough. Something tells me.
Yeah, I know what, but I don't really care about it. I mean, I think that you think it's boring, but the thing is that I come in so many situations where people claim that I'm the one who is taking care of my child.
No, absolutely. But
women as well as to say that, hey, man, I can do this. If I can do this, then actually I can do just about anything, and I I want to be just as participating as any woman in raising my child.
Right, yeah.
Ragnar, we're talking to Ragnar Bengtsson, whose name I just mispronounced. He's a Swedish man who hopes to generate breast milk with a pump, and this has attracted a lot of attention. But there are endocrinologists who say, at least according to the article that we saw, that say what you're doing is impossible, and you may get 2 or 3 drops over the next few months, but never enough to make a difference.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it could be that I only get 2 or 3 drops. But the thing is, no one really knows because we haven't tried it.
He thinks he knows.
That's like the biggest question for me is that why can't we just try everything? We have to try because we always have to.
No, we don't really have to, though, because, I mean, we don't have to. I mean, women are built, the mammary glands have these this wonderful network of tissue.
Course, I mean,
clearly that's the way it's supposed to be. Men don't have that luxury.
Or do you have like big man boobs?
Well, there are lots of women who don't have really big breasts, and they breastfeed just fine. But the big question for me is that if this could work, then we have to try it. I mean, we have to try. Just not that we have to be able to do it, but we have to try it. It's possible just to say, because the big question is then, why do men have nipples?
Well, I actually know the answer to this. All babies are actually female inside of the womb at that point when the nipples are made, and then once the chromosome situation takes place to actually change that the gender decision is made internally, then those become useless on a man.
Yeah, I know, but
you're not buying that.
But they aren't useless because in various symptoms, disease symptoms, men start producing breast milk.
Have you tried other womanly things like putting a veiner in?
What?
Have you tried other womanly things like giving oral?
Giving oral sex or what?
What other girl things?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's actually every morning I go to my neighbor, call the door, and ask if I can perform oral sex just because I want to try if that helps.
Ragnar's hilarious.
He stopped talking to me.
I like in 2 big attempts, Ragnar's like, yeah, I get it. I hear you.
Yeah, in the first one.
No language barrier here.
Zane tries to pass along face, even though Ragnar speaks English better than Zane does. And then that.
Well, how long have you been doing the breast pump so far?
I've been doing it for 6 weeks now, actually.
Okay. And how long each day?
I'm doing it for about 10 minutes, but then I do it every second to third hour. So.
Oh wow! Okay, so pretty often. And no results so far.
No, actually no results so far.
Wow. And how long will you continue to try it?
We're gonna stop the project at the 2nd of December because the show ends.
Okay.
The 2nd of December.
So so about another 6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So is this at all possible a TV stunt, and our audio will be played on the Swedish television, and you'll make fun of us?
That's up to TV8, isn't it?
I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Actually, this is not that hard. We've heard worse things than this. There's a blog man from Texas somewhere who's made a blog spot about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He probably thinks you're the devil.
Yeah, basically, actually, and he also thinks that we men in Sweden live under. As I quote, it's okay because you live under feminism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. If you don't know about America, Texas is like its own land where they think anyone who doesn't live in Texas is a queer.
That's true.
And that's the term they use.
I think Outwings is right.
So that's something important to note.
Well, Ragnar, we really appreciate. Oh, Joe, you have a question?
Yeah, I actually wanted to know, have you thought about what will happen in the future when your baby grows up and he realizes he's been sucking on his dad's nipples?
But
he may shoot himself in the face.
Yeah,
of course. I've heard that in many places and blogs, and people have posted comments like, well, if my kid grew up and heard that my partner had breastfed him, he would be furious. But that's just something we have to get used to. If it is.
Yeah. What if the kid starves? Yeah. Then he's going to have to drink from your lower tap.
But that's the same discussion that we had 30 years ago when women wanted to wear pants. They would say that, no, this doesn't work and this is crazy and they're going to become men and we're not going to have any differences. I mean, come on. It's just get used to it.
I'm not sure women putting on pants is the same as a man trying to milk himself.
Well, it's still just breaking some ideas that we have about what we can and can't do. I mean, I say we can do anything just if we're pleased and happy with it. And then
shut up.
I mean, my kid, if he grows up knowing that, I don't think it will bother him.
Yeah, your answer is a boot to the face if he asks.
It's troubling me that you're so rational because you're the nicest butt we've ever talked to.
Well, thank you.
You actually are. Actually, I'm really enjoying talking to you, even though.
Hey, Ragnar, will you speak devil for a minute? I heard you before I put you on hold.
Speak your devil language. Say to your son, come suck my.
No, what? To be clear, because we're stupid Americans, we refer to all other languages as devil. Just so you know.
All right, I'll say this. Vad kul att ni i USA är intresserade av det här och jag hoppas verkligen att ni får igenom den här sjukvårdsreformen som så himla mycket behövs där.
Oh,
it's the devil.
What did you just say? Because we have to know if we have to bleep anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was insulting.
I think you have to find some Swedish guys.
Oh, you probably. We know hockey players. We take all your hockey players. I bet you said, I wish someone would make me a vagina with a hacksaw.
Well, Ragnar, we've enjoyed talking to you. We wish you the best of luck with your frozen man nipples, okay?
All right, thank you.
Nick Lidstrom says hi.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
I like Ragnar.
But I never drank it, no.
I like that song, too.
Here's what Hot Wings thinks. Hot Wings. What Hot Wings thinks.
Free beer, Zane, and listeners. What do you get when you mix equal parts disgust and amusement? My reaction to Joe Jackson and his latest display of self-absorbed craziness. This guy makes sitcom characters seem normal. He's such a dirtbag genius that he has actually found a new way to exploit Michael's death and his upcoming movie at the same time.
Impressive.
I know. What better way than to have a fundraiser for yourself?
What?
In Vegas at the Palms on October 27th. He'll hold a special screening of This Is It the night before the movie opens worldwide. For the privilege of seeing it early at Joe Jackson's Platinum VIP event. You will only have to part with $3,000.
Oh, my God.
If that already seems like a good deal, know that you will also get to meet Joe Jackson. Well, whoopee! Who would pay this decrepit fossil $3,000 for the honor of hanging with his pencil-thin mustache and beat-up Elwood Blues fedora? To me, Joe Jackson is so disgusting, so vile, so deplorable that he's hilarious. What a scumbag. He makes John Gosselin look like Father of the Year. The movie trailer has been edited and now starts with Joe Jackson talking.
No.
And then ends with a voiceover from the theater saying, on August 29th, 2009, we honored the King of Pop. On October 27th, 2009, we will honor his father.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Are you serious? This is unbelievable.
Yes, I'm serious. Barf. Yeah, let's honor his father for his long history of child care. I mean abuse. He's an exploiter and a dickweed. No one likes him except for other dickweed exploiters like Al Sharpton. I hope one of his other kids dies, just so I can see how he manages to exploit them for his own gain, too. Plus, how can you get enough of a guy who wears a gold chain and medallion on the outside of a shirt, tie, and pinstripe gangster suit? You rock, Joe Jackson. Thanks for making the rest of us seem pious by comparison. I love me more because you're such a creep. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. More of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show is next. More Sounds of the Game with the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
But here you're going to see him come in here and kick out. They sort of fake a wide play, and Gonzalez comes back inside.
So Hiller has all the freedom in the world to work with his package depending on what he sees when he gets to the line.
Wow. Watch Lewis right there in the middle. You see right there he's going to come right off the rear end of his own player. Jared Johnson, and Brett Favre does not see him coming, and by the time he does, nothing he can do about it.
Go Deerdorf. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. Headlines in a moment, including what's being called a cheap shot and a dirty play by a player in the Tampa-Carolina game yesterday. Justice of the Peace in Louisiana makes news, and also an entire segment for Balloon Boy follow-up this coming hour, because that has been a big story through the whole weekend. And, boy, Friday morning it was merely speculation, and I think most people believed that it was all a hoax, and now it seems like a 100% slam dunk.
Boy, and it's funny, this all started when that kid, the little boy in question, made that big reveal.
Had a bit of a flub in the scenario. And, I mean, the family was suspicious to begin with, but when that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I think the truth would have come out. It just may have taken a little bit longer.
Yep.
Because the police would have been able to sort of release information on their own. But that was not the case. There was some video that we saw on Friday during the show from Australia. With the woman that was, and this would have normally been a bigger story, but because of Balloon Boy, it was sort of page 2, but where the stroller rolled off the platform. She turned her back for a second, and the stroller with a baby in it rolled off the platform and went right in front of a train.
That was crazy. I couldn't believe it. What a horrible thing. I saw that and went, what am I seeing?
How did the baby live?
I don't know. The only thing I can see that it would just be such a bulky thing. It just got shoved along is the only explanation. I mean, I'm the first. I want to see that miracle. I mean, when we had that one lady, when I went crazy, when that lady laid down on the tracks and the train went over her, turns out there was just plenty of clearance.
Yeah.
At the time, I'm thinking, oh, miracle.
Mm-hmm.
But so after you guys beat me up over that one, I do not so recklessly throw out the miracle after that beat down. But that's the only thing explained, that big amazing contraption, the size of that stroller.
Yeah, and that kid was obviously strapped in very well. The seat belts worked.
Yeah. I cannot
stroller, man.
Imagine that feeling of turning around and seeing it rolling. Yeah. I mean, it would all happen very quickly, but your mind would play it very slowly, like when you get in a car accident or whatever.
Hello, I'm Joe Jackson.
Oops, sorry, I was preparing that.
The thing is about that stroller, God, is like a new father with a baby who is often in a stroller. I don't let go of that handle when I'm at the park, right? Let alone on a platform for a train. I actually was kind of mad at the mother for the fact that she let that kid roll in front of a train.
Yeah.
Well,
I go, how can you do that?
And not everybody's perfect, Hot Wings, like you.
Probably only takes
but it only takes, I mean, you have to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's impossible. You're not Jesus. You're going to make mistakes.
The kid tipping over.
Don't set yourself up for that.
The kid tipping over is an accident. I mean, but man, to take your eye off a stroller when you're 10 feet from an incoming train, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I mean, you don't have to be perfect. That you just have to pay attention on the train deck.
Now, Hotwigs, what if she goes on that train regularly, a dozen times a year, and going to that, because you don't go on trains, so going to a train station, you'd be extra aware of that train, right?
Well, yeah, I would, but I do go near traffic often enough. I'm on sidewalks often enough, and when there are other things around that can happen, you pay a little bit more attention than you would when you're just standing around your house or on your own driveway.
That's true, but Howings, you're arguing on the side of perfection in the sense that no one, because people have these mindless moments all of the time.
Yeah, it's normal. You're going to get accustomed to the child around. You're going to let it's human nature. When my kid fell head first down the steps, uncarpeted steps, and suffered massive bruising to his face because the dog was there, and the dog's fat ass bumped him down the steps. I mean, that's a dangerous place to be. And it's so simple to just it's impossible to be perfect. Kids suffer bumps and bruises all the time.
Right. I mean, I know that. I mean, I know the kid. My son will run into the coffee table at some point. Probably he'll fall down. I mean, those are things that happen. I mean, there are obviously big accidents that happen, but in certain situations, you can't stop paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't. When you're 10 feet from a train, there's no excuse for letting go of your kid and letting them roll in front of it.
I'm sure that mother would agree with you 100%. But it's still, I mean, you have that moment where everybody's had that moment in your life, be it maybe not with children, but where you just weren't thinking. You just weren't paying attention. Sure. And we all agree that it should never happen, but clearly it does.
And I'm just saying, as a new father, and I'm sure maybe I will get to the point where I'm a little bit more complacent at certain times too. I'm sure I will, but being new at it, I see that, and it actually makes me mad.
It does seem that you'd put the cart at least parallel to the tracks, so that if it did roll, it would roll parallel to the tracks and not directly onto the tracks in front of the train.
You would think so.
Meanwhile, Hot Wings referenced in his commentary today, Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
And his tribute to Joe Jackson, which is really him just gravy training the movie documentary about his son. This is it.
Anyway, anytime we can pan this guy. I love this, man.
So this is the trailer. Hot Wings was.
I'm Joe Jackson.
It's just him tacked on to the beginning.
The music reached billions, it says.
I'd like to invite all of you to see my son's movie. This is it.
This is the moment. This is it.
So now, does it go to where he talks about the whole business like you talked about?
There will be stuff at the end, yeah.
Okay, so you think I should bump over to the end?
Because a good chunk of the, okay. Yeah, I don't remember exactly where everything happens within the trailer, because it's the regular 2-minute movie trailer.
Yep.
And then he's interjected things in a couple of different places, so I couldn't tell you the exact times.
I got it, but I actually have it here, but because we're going to get to that, but I can tell you that the super slick Sony production of the film just does not match up with the home video camera Joe Jackson thing that they throw into it. It says 20 minutes of exclusive fan footage before This Is It, only at Brendan Theaters.
Which is at that casino.
Here at the Brendan Theater in Las Vegas. Michael Jackson's favorite movie theater.
On August 29th, 2009, Johnny Brennan honored Michael Jackson, the King of Pop, with a Brendan Celebrity Star. On October 27th, 2009, he will honor his father.
Oh, no.
For more information, please visit BrendanTheaters.com.
Oh my God! Can you believe that?
And to see that still image that they show up there with Joe Jackson. I mean, Michael Jackson hated his dad.
Mm-hmm.
It screwed him up so bad that he ended up overdosing later in life and dying.
Spent his life surrounded by children, which caused him heartache after heartache.
Yeah. I mean, just so disgusting.
If anybody wonders what it's like to have either a filthy father or one not there, you need only look at two people that have been in the news, Jackson and Tyson. These were broken people. Tyson's still broken. Jackson, happy he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. Oh, my gosh.
Never had a chance.
What a miserable bunch.
Both people who found incredible wealth and fame, and it left them shallow and hollow on the inside.
Tyson is so screwed up. He looked even more screwed up on Friday on Oprah. I mean,
with Evander Holyfield.
He doesn't even know how to take a compliment. He's so broken. Mm-hmm. There was a guy on there who said, Mike, thanks to you, thanks to what you said, I know it's okay for me to cry and feel bad for the loss of my daughter, which is a lot like your daughter. Or a lot like what happened to you. And most people who would have the ability to process things would look at that guy sitting in front of him and say, I'm glad to help you, brother, or whatever.
Whatever.
Tyson just looks at him. He just looks at the guy. He's just not there.
Yeah, he's broken. No question. In a moment, Balloon Boy, and we'll play you the audio and tell you how you can see the video of what has to be the hit of the weekend from the NFL.
This is bad,
Be it a legitimate hit? Probably not. It was immediately flagged, so at the very least it was a rule violation, but a lot of people are saying a cheap shot and a dirty hit.
Whoa.
You can judge for yourself at freebeerandhotwings.com. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
That's a great stop up inside. You see the movement, you see the push, and you see the penetration. Buckhalter again, squeezing through a hole.
You'll see Cooper come right up there in the A gap.
Oh, man, he's coming around, and when he does hit you, he's getting you in the mustache.
How about this, Dick? And one of the things the Seattle coaches say about him is that he soaks things up very well.
That's my favorite one so far, this one right here.
How about this, Dick?
What a weird pause. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. Later on this hour, things that you may use something for that it's not necessarily designed for. This was I used something this weekend to clean the stones from the aquarium that we have that you wouldn't typically expect. In fact, I'll bet people have put a lot of things in this device to do that.
Probably,
I'll bet that's the case. Also, Joe saw Paranormal Activity on Saturday afternoon, and you'll hear his review of it and give you an idea of what his review is. We will be asking you, what's the most terrified you've ever been? And that doesn't mean like I was in a car accident and laying upside down. I'm talking about maybe perceived or real threat, but that actual, like for me, the most scared I've ever been was when somebody was trying to break into our house in Knoxville. Turns out I was fine, but when they were banging on that door,
Oh, man,
that was pretty hopeless.
I've decided, I don't care what happens. We talked about last week. I'm not seeing that movie. And after seeing Joe, who, just his reaction to it and reading some of the emails, forget it, man. That is not pleasant to me. Joe was affected, man. Wait to hear Joe's reaction.
It was. The NFL yesterday, we heard the sounds of the game. There was a game yesterday between Tampa and Carolina. Now, both teams, Tampa's really bad, and Carolina was off to a terrible start. Now they've gotten things going a little bit better. But this game was pretty far off the national radar. Important to the fans of Carolina and Tampa, but it wasn't exactly game of the week stature on Fox. But this hit will no doubt be one of the most talked about things from this weekend from the NFL. Clifton Smith back to receive a punt, and Dante Wesley to cover.
Right.
Hot Wings and Zane are going to see this for the first time.
Dante Wesley is the guy who, he's the first guy that's going to interact with the guy getting the ball.
Interact is a good word.
He's going to meet him.
All right. He is going to meet him. You can see this at freebeerandhotwings.com in the video reel.
And they took this time out to give Clifton Smith a chance for a return.
Oh, boy.
They ran right into Smith. Clifton Smith was hit on the punt. And
he's so out.
Still lying down.
He's knocked out for nearly 1 minute.
Okay, now a fight's breaking out, and that's good. So normally the kicker is going to be given a chance to kick it the way it is, because he's defensive, not the kicker. The guy receiving the punt is supposed to be, or kickoff, he has to be given a halo, they say, around him. Mm-hmm. He has to be given a fair shot because he's so vulnerable.
Yeah, you're looking up, your arms are up to catch the ball.
Had he done fair catch?
I'm not sure.
Okay, it doesn't matter, but because there's like a no man's land that you can't be in there when he fields it. If you get there before the ball, you got to wait for the ball to get there.
Right.
But dude decided to time it just right and just killed him when he was still in that defenseless mode.
Now, this fight goes on for a minute, and then they show the replay. Wait till you see the replay of how ridiculous it is.
Yeah, that's what
At this point, it's not a fight. They're just standing looking at each other.
It's just puffed up chests. People mad.
They've run out of flags, so now the officials are even throwing hats to signify penalty.
Throwing their socks.
And there is Aqib Talib, and there's an official trying to keep him out of further trouble, and we already have trouble here.
And that's good preventive officiating right there.
Meanwhile, the guy's still on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see one punch thrown. If this were a hockey game, this would be a fight.
Tell you what, this officiating crew just did a superb job in stopping what could have been a total melee into, a
guy's still out.
Scrum that ended
Boy,
meanwhile,
that's a thing.
Yeah,
he hasn't
flat on his back.
Oh, now I see his hand moving.
Here's the replay.
Wesley is the gunner.
He held up a little.
Doesn't get set
No, he didn't.
Just a second. If you see him stutter his step, he could have creamed him.
Yeah, he could have made it even.
I think he held up to gather and do the jump into his face.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he put a shoulder right up into his chin.
Oh my God!
Because he didn't do the wrap and driving the shoulder pads into the guy's midsection on a tackle. He jumped and shouldered the guy in his face mask.
I'm disappointed at the reaction afterwards. If I'm the player for the Bucks, if I'm the coach, I get my crappiest players. They get out there and start swinging your helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one team, Florida, whatever it was, a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Central
Florida International
in Miami. Start swinging your helmet around like a maniac.
When the Miami color commentator, a former player, said, "I'm about to take the elevator downstairs and get in on this. This is how you go."
Oh, that was so ridiculous. I forgot about that guy.
Boy.
What do you think, dirty or
No,
accident?
I think it was I think it was poorly timed. Absolutely, just a bad
No,
play.
Well, I say dirty.
I think
I don't think
dirty.
you think he tried to hurt him?
Yeah, where he
Absolutely.
hit him. He didn't hit him low. He hit him.
He tried to knock him out, but I don't think
he hit him right in the chin.
For sure. I think most football players would hit you wherever they can, but I don't think,
can't though, can you? I mean, you can't hit a
well,
guy like
I think
that.
I think he's just a little. I think he was bad at being there on time. But
I think
absolutely wanted to hit him in the worst place possible.
I think the way he hit him, he'd have got a flag.
I think so.
Even
too.
if he had caught the ball, I think he would have gotten a flag.
I wonder if he'll get suspended.
I bet.
Probably.
I bet. Boy, and those two teams are going to play again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they mentioned in the broadcast that it's been a physical series, and the two teams do not have a lot of love for each other.
Man.
99 red balloons.
Here we go.
Floating in the summer sky. Panic bags, it's running low.
Specifically, one silver Mylar balloon.
What an embarrassment.
This is so sad.
Gee, we couldn't see this coming.
Such a draw for fame. Look at what you've done to your whole family.
Yeah, if you're gonna
crazy miscreant.
If you're gonna go for a stunt that tries to get everyone's attention, you should probably pretty carefully cover your steps. And it doesn't seem like Richard Heaney did a very good job of that.
Balloon hoax. Larimer County Sheriff explains what they know about the plan.
What the hoax is that this has been a planned event for at least 2 weeks. The plan was to launch this spacecraft in order to gain media publicity.
Probably a bad word for it. I wouldn't call it a spacecraft. I would just say this balloon.
In order to gain media publicity, plan was obviously to create a situation where it appeared that Falcon was in the craft and that his life was in jeopardy in order to gain a lot of publicity. And again, with the ultimate goal of gaining some notoriety and perhaps furthering their career by obtaining a contract to do a reality TV show.
Nice pronunciation of reality TV show there, jerk.
By obtaining a contract to do a reality TV show.
Reality show.
It doesn't seem that the sheriff is very comfortable in front of the cameras.
No, probably a little bit new for him, but that's all right.
Not the only clip we have from the sheriff. There's more. Yeah, explaining what Richard and his wife Yoko, what they are.
These people are actors. Not only have they appeared in several reality television shows and on YouTubes, we have since...
This guy is so unhip.
Oh, God, he's so unhip and nervous, too. You can hear it. They have appeared several times on the YouTubes.
On that newfangled World Wide Web.
Thank the sheriff for being everyone's parents right now.
It's determined that, in fact, they met together. The way that they met and established their relationship was in acting school in Hollywood. So needless to say, they put on a very good show for us, and we bought it.
Because you're stupid.
Yeah, this is
simple, but
he's in a real bad position now because it's a hoax and everybody knows it, but they still had to react, so he's going to be pissed.
This was the line that got it all started with Wolf Blitzer on CNN.
You guys said that we did this for a show.
I bet your dad's ass got so tight.
Oh, boy. Yeah,
that's not what I meant to say.
He said, well, I'm just appalled that you would imply that blah, 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 blah. And the 911 call. Balloon Boy's dad, fake crying and everything in this.
How long has the 6-year-old been missing?
Just a few minutes.
Was the flying saucer in the backyard?
Yes.
Okay. It obviously has electronics, so he can know how to work it. He gets it up off the air, off the ground.
Oh God.
No, he doesn't know how to operate.
He does not know how to operate. So, and that's gone though too, right? So we are sure that he's in that.
Yeah,
we looked everywhere, and then my son just said, being terrified. He said, yeah, he went inside just before it went off because we had it tethered. It wasn't supposed to take off.
Oh, my God. It's like he went to the Hindenburg Reenactment School of Acting.
He really did. And when you see the video that they were taking of that launch, which wasn't actually supposed to launch, that was why he got so mad and he kicked the frame because his wife was supposed to have it tethered, yet they were videotaped.
It was all about the hoax.
All seem more suspicious.
And on the Today Show Friday, this was the same one with the kid barfed. The Balloon Boy's dad, Richard Heaney, no hoax, and he's annoyed and angry that people would imply otherwise.
Was this a hoax or a publicity stunt?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And now I'm starting to get a little ticked off because I'm repetitively getting asked this in the last couple of interviews. And what have I got to gain out of this? And I'm not selling anything. I'm not advertising anything.
Trying to
My
sell
family
yourself.
and I, we do this all the time. We're always
Make
doing some kind
spectacles of
of
yourself.
scientific research. We're always building something together.
Apparently he's got a high school education.
I teach my kids how to shoot cameras.
Barely.
It's highly educational for my boys. So,
and exploitative.
No, I mean, absolutely not. This is not some kind of a hoax.
Child Protective Services are looking into these two. They're encouraging the woman to get out because they know she's just psychologically beaten down.
There's a guy named Robert Thomas who was friends with Heaney at one point, and then Heaney hired him to be the lead assistant on the reality TV show that he was developing. And he and Heaney started to have a falling out after they went on Wife Swap because Heaney started to get crazy.
Yeah.
Heaney was crazily firing episode ideas away a mile a minute, one after the other. Robert was writing all these ideas down for $15 an hour. Heaney's big idea to launch the show to draw the attention necessary to make something break through was to, quote, manufacture a UFO controversy bigger than Roswell, bigger than anything the world had ever seen. The breaking point for Thomas was when Heaney told his then assistant of reptilians who could shapeshift that were running the shadow government, and that his fame would enable him to communicate with the masses and expose said reptilians.
I know, cuckoo.
He also claimed the world was going to end in solar flares in 2012, a familiar theme to people these days. On Thursday, when the balloon went up, Thomas immediately knew what was going on.
That's awesome.
Thomas never got paid for the TV work he did for Heaney. He passed out a lot of flyers.
That's awesome.
For Heaney's general contractor business.
That's awesome.
He also notes Heaney's attic is too small and difficult to access for a child to hide without assistance from an adult. Also that Falcon was the most social and that those kids never were disciplined by Heaney, so they would have had no fear of retribution for getting in trouble.
This is a mess, man.
They are going to face some serious charges, and seemingly rightfully so.
They're bad parents, bad people, warped sensibilities.
It's all
this
him.
Guy's brain
It's
is
all him.
so broken.
Well, you heard the way he talked to that woman on Wife Swap, and he was all like, he's trying to say that, it's supposed to be submissive, blah, 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 blah,
so
blah.
insane.
What a crazy maniac.
Yeah, he beats down everybody who comes in contact with him verbally if they get in his way at all.
I'm delighted with this outcome so far.
In a moment, your own ingenuity. It's not designed for it, but it works for it. Your sort of cobbled-together plans to get things done around your house. 1-800-947-3979. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hotwig Show.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
But he is one of those guys that you're going to take care of him first and take your chances with the other guys later.
Lemonade Alston has a big hole. Joe Paterno is ready for a wet night at Happy Valley.
That's the one.
A guy like Alston steps in, and now all of a sudden the angles change a little bit. He's got his nerves going. He might not give you the same feel on the read when you're trying to pull it out of his belly.
Oh, no. The Paterno one is absurd. What the?
Joe Paterno is ready for a wet night at Happy Valley.
Oh, my God.
The fact that,
Frickin' sweet.
The bonus part of it that it's actually that they play in Happy Valley.
He can't wait to do some yodeling.
A euphemism by itself. Happy Valley.
Ever since we got my wife on that vag cream, things have never looked better. No more cracked skin in our household.
He's in Happy Valley.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, my
happy.
God.
What Hotwings thinks in an hour. That's truly. We'll get to that in about 1 hour. Also, where'd you hear the 911 call from a father who caught an 18-year-old having sex with his 16-year-old when he came home early from work? A lot of people say what they would do if that ever happened. This guy actually did.
He joined in?
No.
He grabbed the camera?
He called his wife to look?
He drank a beer and took off his pants? No.
I don't know anyone who's done that. It just seemed funny because the obvious is obvious. What he wanted to do. Kick
Also,
some ass.
Joe saw the movie Paranormal Activity.
Joe, your description of it in here, it was, to me, something to watch because you looked pretty bothered by that when you were describing it to us.
It was so awesome. It's an awesome movie.
Bothered, but it was entertaining.
Well, I like being scared.
Yeah.
And so few movies do that nowadays.
Right. That's what's surprising me, that you were actually frightened.
Yeah.
Here's the text that Joe sent to me on Saturday afternoon, which made me immediately decide that I will never see this movie. Quote, "That movie was horrifying! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! I can't remember being as scared as that since watching Child's Play at age 6.
Was it gory?
No.
There was not gore, so this is all psychological.
Absolutely.
See, I like that. I want to see that now because
so
I get tired of like slasher movies.
Yeah.
After a while, it's like, yeah, okay, it's gory and it's a little scary because it's gross, but just dopey surprises. Oh, geez, I wasn't ready for that bludgeoning to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal.
Next hour also, I have to tell you guys about Steve's ridiculous claim that he made to me on Friday afternoon. A claim that neither Steve or I can remember what context caused him to say it. I actually believe he volunteered it out of nowhere in the midst of conversation. Like, ooh, topic change. Now I want to tell you that I can always do this.
Okay.
At which point, after he said it, he said, I'm going to regret making that claim because you are going to ask me to test that theory. And that is a fact.
Okay.
So we'll tell you about that coming up next hour. I mentioned earlier that the non-traditional uses of things, you find things. I mean, obviously, certain things are designed for certain things. So yesterday, my wife was surprised when she came home and saw that the dishwasher was running and thought, oh, that was nice. You loaded the dishwasher in. And then noticed there were still a few dishes and stuff in the sink. That's because I did load the dishwasher, but I loaded it with rocks from the aquarium from downstairs.
Did you read about this in any of the materials that you probably might read about fish and stuff like that?
I do, but no, I thought this would work. It did not work.
What did you put? This is tiny bits of gravel, right?
No. This is like the actual ones. They get algae growth on them.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand why this is a bad idea. It seems like it would work perfectly.
I don't think she wasn't upset. She was just surprised.
No, I didn't say she was. I'm wondering because you implied that that it didn't work, but it did work.
No, well, what I wanted was I was hoping it would wash the algae off.
Did it?
No, the heat seemed to make more algae grow.
Oh no,
there seemed to be more because in the summer I'll put them out in the sun and it will bake. And it'll bleach the rocks, and then they'll look great. But weather, I'd have to leave them out there for a month at this point to get enough sun to do that. And I thought, well, the heat and the high-pressure water, they'll be spotless. Not the fact.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
well,
I guess in hindsight it makes sense because heat and moisture would help algae grow as opposed to the sun and no moisture.
Tell you what, that's not because I used the dishwasher too years ago for something, and that means there's two things now that the dishwasher can't do, because it's intended to wash dishes. So why can't it do everything? Is what we all think.
Right, yeah.
But like when you have like a ceiling fan, and when you live like me and don't clean anything ever, you get about 3 inches of caked on dust.
Oh yeah,
that won't come off.
Yeah.
Well, I unscrewed those fins, the parts of the fan. The fins that actually circulate the air, and place them in the dishwasher like dishes. Well, the heat cycle came on that damn thing, and it just when I opened up the dishwasher when it was done, it you know how those are made. It's like a veneer, a plastic type of veneer.
Yeah.
They came off and shrunk like shrinky dinks that you would put in the oven, and they were all curled, laying on it was an old dishwasher, so it had a heating element, laying, melting. The whole house smells like burnt plastic, destroyed, man, completely ruined. So it comes time to move out of the house. I'm renting this deal, and he inspects the house for a security deposit. Well, thank God it would never occur to him to look up. He walks in. He's doing the walkthrough with me. He's standing underneath the frickin' fan. There's no fins on it. It's just a hub. Nothing. If it were to spin, it would be like a tire in the ceiling. Just sit there, and it would go like a million miles an hour because there's no resistance. In fact, if you turn around, it would go. Thank God the stupid Frankenstein dork, who's huge, his big lumbering dope, didn't turn it on, and I just threw the things away, man. And it was like the day before he was arrived because I had to clean the house. So
Yeah.
I just threw those out. Whatever. He never said a word. I don't know what happened.
It was like that when I moved in.
Yeah, I don't know. Jeez, you better think to check.
The smell of the rocks, that was because you mentioned that with your fan blades. That was an unintended consequence. Turns out, because if you take the rocks out of the aquarium, and you're holding them, you would have a slight scent of
ocean.
Kind of, yeah.
Ocean and
a little fish,
a little lakey,
fishy,
Yeah.
assy.
Yeah.
When you expose it to heat and hot water, it seemed to exaggerate the smell. Till it was like I sprayed the house with fish Febreze.
Oh no!
That was.
Did you
all
have
the
the
cats are sitting in the kitchen.
Smell. Did you have the heat dry cycle on too?
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to bake the algae off.
I cooked it.
Mission not accomplished.
It's like an algae stew inside there.
Meanwhile, somebody sent us this list of other things that actually you're supposed to be able to wash in your dishwasher.
Did you have the heat cycle on that dishwasher?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Thought you must have mentioned that based on the look that I saw Zane give to himself.
Oh boy. My all-time favorite thing on this show is the repeat. And you got 2 or 3 now in your stable in a row, Howie.
I do. I have.
There have been a few that have happened. This one was a longer period of time in between, but you're still on a roll.
Yeah, I am.
Because you had one last week, too.
And one that didn't get mentioned.
Yeah, I was going to say I had 1 or 2
3
last
in a row.
week. Yeah.
On that dishwasher, when you put the rocks in.
Yeah.
So it washes, and then did the dishwasher get like hot?
Yeah, I had the heat cycle on.
Joe, do you have any questions?
Yeah, surely you didn't have the heat cycle on.
I did, Joe.
Oh, you did?
I did. I probably left that out of the story.
Marissa?
Yeah.
You got any questions?
Yeah. Did you turn the heat on? Was the heat on it?
I did. I had the dryer set to go on the rock because then they'd be dry. It got really hot.
Hey, Lurch. Yeah. Hey, man. We were talking about this dishwasher thing. Do you have any question about this?
Was the heat cycle on possibly, or
Lurch? It was. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked.
Oh, God.
Steve, do you have any questions?
Yeah. Now, I know that Mom always used to teach me that to really get stuff clean, you have to use hot water. So when you put the stuff in the dishwasher, was it hot?
Not only was the water was hot, and then when I used the drying cycle, it was very, very hot.
Son of a bitch!
I did not see that coming. It's like an O. Henry story. Other things you can put in the dishwasher with a heat cycle.
I like the fact that there's so many people on this show that we can ask them questions.
Alex, did you have any additional questions?
No, I'm good. I got it.
1-800-947-3979. Mark in New York. Hi, Mark.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Good, Mark.
Me and a friend of mine, we bought a lizard, and we were building a tank for it, so we got a big rock from a stream nearby, and it had algae on it, kind of just like that. So our best way to clean it was to put it in the oven at 525 degrees.
Okay.
It's not a bad idea.
Because we figured that would sterilize all the germs, so it wouldn't kill the lizard. So we left to go get some food, and we left it in there for about 20 minutes, and the whole house smelled like algae
I'm sure it did.
Who leaves it on? I mean, you don't even know what's going to happen. That was dumb.
It's just a rock. It's not going to catch on fire.
I know that, but still, your house stinks now.
But it was dumb. So.
It didn't work out. That was reminiscent of, from now on, there are no aquarium items that can be put in the kitchen, because I once tried to bake the poison out of a log that went inside the poison.
You mean
Kidding,
something was making your fish sick?
There was something in it, yeah, and they said, well, there's probably some bacteria. And this was actually recommended to me by someone at the aquarium store, and they said, yeah, just throw the log in the stove, like on a cookie pan or something, and set it at a fairly low heat, but for a while. And again, like he said, it makes the whole house smell like stinky fish.
Oh, yeah. That's rough, man. You put a lot of work into that aquarium.
I do.
How many? Just the one big one?
There's two.
There's two, okay. Yeah, there's some exotic fish in that damn thing. I go to Freebeer's house. It's like one of those National Geographic Explorer shows, all these crazy, colorful fish.
Like the zoo or an aquarium.
Get a shark. Would you get a shark, please?
Sharks are a pain. You can't have anything else in there.
Oh, dude, I remember the one time you had those. You used to have Oscars?
No.
Oh, sweet, Joe. Did you ever see when he had the Oscars?
I didn't.
These crazy fish, and then he puts these feeder fish in, and these Oscars go bananas, man. Just roll.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, they're rotten.
It makes me feel awful.
Oh, it's
because,
sweet. You put a turtle in.
The Oscars would eat if it was big, it would eat a.
Well, yeah, they would. That's awesome.
Throw these little goldfish in there, the kind that kids go to Walmart and say, "Oh, I have 3 of those." And except I would throw like 7 of them in with this one Oscar, and goldfish are stupid, so they would always swim towards his mouth, and so he'd get so many of them in his mouth that eventually, this is what I saw. One's head sticking out from fins forward out of its mouth as he digested the rest of them. Its little fins were going flap, 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 the rest of his life was going to be getting digested alive by that stupid bigger fish. And then I realized how awful that would be, and so I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I would feel terrible afterwards, but that fascinates me. Like when we did Scorpion versus.
Oh, I know it. We gotta go to his house. Give him Oscars versus piranhas and see who wins.
We gotta do it, man.
It's like Battle Zone in your fish tank. Forget all the other fish.
The tank in the area, the smaller one, those ones will eat fish. You could bring over some small feeder fish, and they would eat them all.
Yeah, but can we do fish fight? Like get crazy angry fish.
I don't think I'm going to just let you bring any fish and throw it in there and see what will win.
How about Scorpion versus fish?
Can we take out your good fish and leave them aside and then do fish war?
Put them in buckets and then use the tank for fish war?
Do whatever we need to do.
Yeah, I'm down for fish war.
Okay.
Imagine we do play-by-play, turn it into a production, and then get yelled at by some sort of animal rights group.
Yeah, like that time that we had that scorpion. Joe, is that video still available where that scorpion peels back that giant hissing cockroach's head and drinks it like coconut? Oh, we do have it.
Yeah, that was terrific.
Oh, Steve's going to post that. You got to see that thing peel his head back and just eat hissing cockroach.
It's great because it's a cockroach.
It's so sweet. Joe's reaction to it was awesome.
Jimbo, we got 40 seconds. What did your wife put in the dishwasher?
Well, it was something that wasn't supposed to go in the dishwasher. It was sex toys.
Oh, boy.
That's
And you know what?
What?
She left the heat cycle. It went through the heat cycle.
So you had melted D's all over the bottom of the...
It was nasty.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's a good thing we rented the house and we had to replace the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Hey,
did she leave the heat cycle on?
That's what I just said, yeah.
That's what I said. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Jimbo. No,
he doesn't get it.
No, he doesn't get it. He's clearly not.
In a moment, producer
just said that.
Producer Joe's review of Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
And the most frightened you've ever been, be it a movie or whatever. Especially if you were frightened without real danger in hindsight.
Okay.
I don't want stories of someone being threatened with a knife and making me feel awful about it.
All right.
We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
He's having a miserable afternoon with the interceptions and the decision on that play to take the huge sack.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. Texas's ball, 1st and 10 at the 18 on the recovery of the muff.
Okay, there it is, the muff. That's the biggest hole a Baltimore running back has seen today.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
I just got a call from my mother.
Yeah?
You want to talk to her?
Oh.
To tell you, and I forgot.
Hey, Ma, how are you?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, I just said Jimmy asked me to tell you that he did all his homework. I was expecting your answering machine.
Yeah. Okay, so what's... Okay, so you... Uh-huh.
He and I worked together on it.
Uh-huh. So you know I do a radio show at this time, right, Ma?
Oh, dear, goodbye.
Well, Ma, no, wait. Everybody wants to hear from you. Tell us more.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, Ma, it's cool. Everybody wanted to hear you talk, Everybody wanted to say hello.
Well, listen, I forgot to call last night.
Uh-huh.
And I know Diana's real busy, so that was bothering me, so I wanted to keep my word.
Right. Well, hey, everybody wants to say hi. Everybody say hi to my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
We really enjoy you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what Wally says. I don't hear you, but Wally does.
Okay, Mom. That's cool.
Okay.
I love you.
Okay, I love you too, and have a
Shut
great
your mouth,
day.
you stupid bitch.
Okay.
Bye.
I love you, Mom. See ya.
I know she didn't hear it. But
no. It's so awkward.
Gold.
Such a
dude. Right on. It was like Christmas. Because I'm sitting here, the back with music is fading. Freebird starts setting up and I don't hear what you say because I see incoming call. Mom. I go, Joy! Go ahead! You're on!
I think it's funny that you go, Mom, hang on. And then when you turn up the microphone, she's in the middle of a sentence.
I know.
So there's no hang on.
No, she does not hear what you say when you're on the phone.
Gosh.
Time is money.
I don't even know. I mean, remember that in the impression? I was like, I don't say anything sequitur. I wasn't kidding around. I mean, everybody knows how that is.
Yeah.
1-800-947-3979. In a little while, we'll tell you what Steve's ridiculous claim was, and we'll figure out how we can test him on it. Producer Joe on Saturday afternoon went to see Paranormal Activity, referred to on the internet in its marketing as the scariest movie of the last decade. Joe, you think the scariest movie of your life?
I think so. At least my adult life, for sure.
Yeah, because these movies have a different impact on you when you're young.
When you're a kid, yeah. I mean,
that's why you taking your little brother to this film was probably such a bad idea.
Yeah,
no, you didn't.
Oh no,
no.
Joe,
I wish you had.
Me too. I would. All
right, break it down. Give us a review.
Before you start, just context for people who don't know what this movie is.
Okay, good idea.
It's got a lot of buzz on the internet because it was kind of forced into theaters by people signing up on an internet list, and everybody was talking about it. It was filmed for $11,000 over 6 days, and it opened in select.
$11,000, really?
$11,000. Yep.
How could it have been frightening for $11,000? My God, that must be crazy good writing.
There's something they did right, that's for sure, because last weekend, they were open only in select theaters, and they were making back an average of 6 times the movie's budget for every screen that it was showing on.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
There were 4,
pretty good.
I mean, 4 actors in the whole movie.
So no special
one
effects.
Camera.
No real special effects.
Not till the very end, I would say there are special effects in the end. But yeah, I mean,
shot in a lot of night vision.
Yeah.
But it's a camera on a tripod, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Is it herky-jerky where it's going to make you sick like Blair Witch?
Nope.
Okay.
Not one bit. I can't take that. I can't watch black screen for 5-minute intervals.
Mm-hmm. Is it based on the premise of like Cloverfield? This video footage was found, and then they made a movie. They edited it so that you could see it.
No,
okay.
It's not. All
right.
There's scenes that are acted out,
yeah.
in between, and then they'll show you the night vision parts as they sleep. And this movie, it doesn't move fast. There's no jump cuts. It's not gory. It builds. It builds.
So nothing's jumping out at you.
No, not really.
That scares the hell out of me when that happens.
There's It starts really slow and it builds up. If you're impatient, if you're used to those horror movies where it's all crazy and kids with weird faces and it starts fast and is that way with no plot, then yeah, you probably won't be able to sit through this. But this, it lets your mind play. There are little things. You're always waiting to see something little going on.
Is it edge of your seat or more like, huh, uh-oh?
I'd say it starts to become edge of your seat because you realize that things are going to happen.
So you're always waiting for something to happen, and it may not for a while, and then here it comes. Nope.
Zane, it sounds like you're getting tempted into wanting to see it by the change in the tone in this case.
You did.
Oh my God!
Yes.
That sucked, man.
True. Funny. True. I am, but what is making me not is when Joe says how terrified he was, and we got an email from some listener, I think it was in Albany. He said that the way he described his fear.
He said he was afraid to leave the theater.
What? Afraid to leave the theater?
Why would you be afraid to leave the theater?
Wow, that must be a real soft-headed idiot.
He must be.
I mean, really.
He suggested that if he wasn't already engaged to his wife, she would have broken up with him.
I would think that you would be thrilled to leave the theater.
That's what I would want.
It's stunning at the end. I can't see being afraid to leave the theater, but there were a lot of people who just sat there and did not move.
If anybody saw this and has maybe a differing point of view, make sure you call. We can get into a discussion about it. You and Joe.
Bijan joins us. Hi, Bijan.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Not much. Did you see this movie?
Yes, I did. Me and my wife went to see it Saturday.
Yeah.
All it is, it's a movie where it's a couple, you watch them sleep, and they just fart in their sleep all night.
So you have a differing opinion than Joe. You did not think it was funny or scary, rather, or good.
No, for the first 40 minutes of the movie, they're just talking. He's talking about videotaping them, screwing around or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, having sex.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, okay, let me set the camera right here, and then all you do is just watch them sleep. It's boring. I mean, Saw 1 kept me on the edge of my seat. This movie, I was actually sitting there yawning out loud throughout the whole movie.
Wow.
Thank you, Bijan.
Okay, so he needs quicker action.
He's
a soft man.
Bijan sounds like a dynamic man of action.
Yeah,
you can hear
he does.
He
sounds like
seriously
a very fast-paced world.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but his name is Action Bijan. He actually changed his name to Action Bijan.
Yeah. The way he painted the picture for us, I was like, I've rethought my entire view of the movie.
You have?
Well, I forgot that the first 40 minutes were him talking about farting and videotaping.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 3 hours, that's where I guess the action comes in.
James in Albany writes, it's scary, for sure, if you're a 13-year-old girl, but a grown man like Joe shouldn't be scared by it.
Wow.
Another person, Kevin Brink, writes, Joe, grow some balls. The movie was lame, not at all scary, and then he calls you the P word.
Not at all scary. That can't be right, because, I mean, that dude in Albany who sent that email that Hot Wing said was soft-headed, I mean, there has to be something to that. I saw some terrible reviews. There was some dork reviewer who was commenting on the poor acting.
Of course, it was an $11,000 movie.
Yeah, obviously it doesn't have great actors in it for $11,000.
That's true.
I mean, the people who starred in it probably wrote it.
Anthony in Pennsylvania says, what, Anthony?
Hi.
Hi, Anthony. Turn your radio up, okay?
Yeah, turn your radio louder.
Louder?
Yeah, that's the way we do it.
Please.
Even though you were told in the first preliminary call to turn it down, you stupid
I wanted to
jerk.
hear myself.
Yeah, I always like hearing the dynamic of how the delay works.
It's like an audio mirror.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Jerk.
1-800-947-3979. Pat in Nashville, you had a girlfriend who was scared at a haunted house?
Yeah, we went to we're on a double date, and we went to this haunted house, and we were going through the haunted house, and the girls were sandwiched between me and the other guy, and we went into this room with about a foot of fog, and this hand reached up and grabbed my date's leg, and she was gone like a really. And we finished the haunted house, and when we got out to the parking lot, there she stood. She was just shaking and shivering, and there was this big puddle underneath her.
Ooh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, it was Unfortunately, I laughed at her.
Wait for
it. It was hilarious.
She's squirting. Did you break up with her?
No, not really. Of course, I'm not
could-
together now, but that was a while back.
How could you not expect something to reach out and grab you or something at a haunted house?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to be startled and scream or whatever. I mean, that's the point of a haunted house, is it's supposed to, raise your blood pressure a little if it's any good. But you have to keep in mind that you paid $6 to go into a haunted house. It's fake. It's not real. People grabbing you, and when you put your hand through something and you feel something gooey, it's not really brains. It's spaghetti. Okay. I mean, you gotta keep some perspective. You can't go out into the parking lot and pee. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, you're right. She was.
That's
dumb.
a broken brain right there.
It seems a little bit simple.
God, I mean, if you're above the age of 4, you
dumb
cannot
slut.
urinate at a haunted house.
No.
Especially if you have time to make it outside and you haven't cooled down yet. If you're going to pee, at least pee on site when you're startled.
James in Nashville, you saw the movie?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I thought it was fear in its most simplistic form. Joe is right. The best thing about that movie was to cut out all the special effects and get away from all this CGI bullcrap that they do nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I took all 3 of my little nephews. They're 10 and under, and they loved it too. And it.
Oh my God! I would have had horrible nightmares.
You took under 10-year-olds?
Yeah, it's R-rated.
Yeah, well, they're 10, 9, and 9. And but they're I grew up with horror movies and stuff, and I'm doing the same thing with them. But the funny part of it was when I got home that night, they usually have the guest bedroom and all this stuff. All of a sudden, when it was time to go to bed, for some reason, they all wanted to sleep on the couch together.
Of course they did.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
Oh my God! I would have never slept again if at that age.
Mm-hmm.
In a moment, what did Steve claim he could do? This is a special skill that Steve claims he has, one that I had no idea that he had ever even considered. We'll tell you what that is next. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
Here's a huge hole. Wow!
That's where the Broncos made a Chippewa sandwich. Hold the helmet.
I like that.
Very well.
Chippewa sandwich. I might have just taken the sack.
1-800-947-3979. Sounds of the Game. You can hear the entire compilation of Sounds of the Game for this week at freebeerandhotwings.com, or you'll hear, if you listen regularly, you'll hear all of them mixed in throughout the show, the first couple of days of this week. We talked about the movie Paranormal Activity in the last segment, and Joe went to see it on Saturday, and you said it was terrifying, certainly the most terrifying movie you've seen as an adult.
It was awesome.
Which is really apples and oranges compared to when you were a kid, and it affected you. But a lot of people are emailing calling Joe an idiot.
Wow.
This person writes, I can't believe Joe was scared. Me and my friends went in skeptical. The first part of the movie is boring as hell. Most of the entertainment value from the movie is the realistic way the woman's a-hole boyfriend treats her with complete disbelief and mockery. Eventually the tables turn, he gets freaked, and she treats him like crap. It's hilarious. The best scene ever was when she stood in one spot in the middle of the night for hours, seemingly asleep. I shouted out, she must be dreaming she's at the DMV. The whole theater had a big laugh. Overall, good for a laugh, but it's not scary.
Oh, DMV, I just got it. Oh, it's so funny because you wait in line.
That's comedy.
And when he says the whole theater had a laugh, he means everybody hated him.
No, you're not funny.
I hate the people that talk to the screen.
Absolutely hate it.
Yeah,
there was
it's
someone
annoying.
in back of me who said something to the screen, and I told her to shut up.
You told her to shut up?
I turned around and I said, shut up.
Bitch!
My God, Joe.
And you
That's
were
good.
into it. That's good. That's a good learning lesson. That's a teachable moment,
It
as they
is.
like to say as a buzzword these days. A
She didn't
teachable
learn.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
She did not learn.
No. So Friday, Steve was helping me out, and we were riding in the car together.
Yeah.
We pulled into a business.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve, you were trying to remember earlier this morning the context for what would have made you say this.
Yeah.
Do you remember what that was?
Absolutely not.
I don't believe there was a context for this claim. I don't believe there was anything we would have been talking about that would have led you to make what seemed like a ridiculous claim to me.
The only thing that I can think of is you made a comment about how I didn't have to stay because you had to go inside and take care of some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you don't have to wait. You can leave now. And I guess I said what I said thinking, well, no, I'll hang around. It's cool. I can kill time by doing this.
Do you want to tell everyone what your claim was, or do you want me to?
You can. You'll probably tell it better than I will.
Steve said, again, even if it's the context that he just shared, it would still be fairly out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I could get on the roof of this building. I can get on the roof of any building in 20 minutes or less.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree with you. You probably can get on the roof of this building because it's simple.
In that case, he was talking about the car dealership that we were
No,
in.
of course.
So, does that mean that if you have 20 minutes, you can find implements to get up there, or you can just figure out a way, looking at the structure and architecture of any building, and scale it?
I don't know.
Have you done this? Have you done this
that,
often?
You asking me questions would make it seem like
you've done it.
This is something that I'm familiar with. Whereas when I said it, as the words were coming out of my mouth, I said, that isn't even remotely true. Why are you saying that?
So it's not provable because you've never done this?
No.
What?
What made you say that then?
I don't know.
So, by the way, then I'm inside the building having an interaction with one of the employees, and I hear someone say, there's some weirdo walking behind the building on his cell phone. And I see that said weirdo is Steve, and you look like, because you look like you were casing the joint. Yeah. They thought you were going to rob the place or murder someone.
And you didn't need Steve at this point, right?
No.
Well, you should have fed into that.
I should have.
You should have said.
That guy's been mumbling like crazy.
I have run into that guy before.
Oh, you're talking about that guy. I've seen him around.
God, yeah.
Wow, he's a pedophile.
I've seen him downtown, too.
He rapes kids.
Yep. Yeah. I touch kids.
Mm-hmm. You better call the cops.
Mm-hmm.
So, Steve, we need to find a building for you. I mean, clearly this needs to be tested.
Obviously.
Because you did walk around the building and case the joint.
I did.
You then told me later that evening, I think I had it figured out. I could have gotten up there.
That one was simple because there was a tree with low branches right next to the side of the building.
Okay.
I could have.
Right.
My whole goal was to send you a picture while you were sitting inside the building meeting with these people. My goal, I'm picturing this in my head. Oh, he's going to be sitting there at this little meeting, and he's going to get a picture text from me on the roof, and it's going to be awesome. And it didn't work at all.
Do you do drugs, Steve? We need to know that now.
No.
Because we don't have drug testing part of hiring, but we may if you continue to do stuff like this.
No.
Behavior like this may warrant a random drug test at some point.
I don't blame you.
Now, Joe, you're the climber.
Yeah.
Have you ever climbed onto the roof of a building? At random, just a building?
No.
But you probably think you could.
Some buildings.
Sure.
I have
if they're climbable.
Steve, do you think you could be on the roof of this building that we're in within 20 minutes?
No.
Well, if you just find the fire escape, it's simple.
That one, this one seems. I think I could do that.
Yeah,
one.
it's easy.
Yeah. They're typically locked.
Hell, the part-timers go up there and screw on the weekend. That and smoke pot. They get good and stoned or drunk so that they can drive the vehicle extra bad. Go smash stationed vehicle into poles.
I gotta get stoned or drunk so that I can justify what I backed the vehicle into.
Oh my God! Remember that one slob? The guy who kept talking and everything. He was like my mom on the air. Talks and everything non sequitur.
Oh, Dirty Jim, Stinky Jim. Yeah, I totally remember him.
Yeah, it was always. Oh yeah, right there. That's White Zombie. Now a little fun fact for you. Did you know that I can climb on the roof of this building while using suction cups on my penis?
Now, buildings notwithstanding, Steve, are you good at in general just climbing things?
I think so.
Like, are you a
Really?
You would
so.
describe yourself as
matter
a
of fact,
climber?
I think so. I'm a rather good climber.
Now, have you climbed things, or because you had a baseless building claim that you proved yourself wrong on within 20 minutes yesterday? But
you go to places where they have rock climbing walls and climb them?
No, but I would do well if I could climb trees well.
When was the last time
I think that translates into buildings.
When was the last time you, in fact, climbed a tree?
It's probably been about a decade.
You should go over to that sporting goods store in the mall. They got a massive climbing wall. Mm-hmm. See how you conquer that one
before you start climbing buildings.
Yeah,
maybe do something with a tether.
Man. Yeah, but that's a whole different kind of climbing, guys. I mean, climbing a building, that's a whole different skill set.
Steve's
than
more
just climbing a wall with rocks on it.
He can't even do that.
Do you think Steve is more into urban climbing?
More urban adventure.
What do they call that?
More problem solving.
What's that called again?
Parkour.
Parkour.
Yeah.
Parkour. In the office. Parkour.
Clearly, that's what Steve's going to be at.
Producer Steve's parkour challenge.
You find me a competition, I'll enter it.
I believe that we'll reserve the right until we're all traveling together, and then the four of us will stop the car, whip out our flip cameras, and inform you that you're going to climb the building that we're parked in front of. And then we'll sit there and time you and make fun of you for 20 minutes, and then put it on the Internet.
Yeah. Watch out with tough-to-prove claims with this show, Steve.
Yeah. It does get you in trouble. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebearandhotwings.com. Let's say you're a father. Or maybe you're the boyfriend involved in this, or the girlfriend, whatever it might be. Put yourself in whichever one of these scenarios most fits your life.
I don't want to.
But the father comes home and finds out that his 16-year-old daughter, because he came home early from work, is having sex with her 18-year-old boyfriend in his home.
Butt slam! Oh, boy.
You've probably heard fathers say, if I ever saw that happening, this is what I'd do, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. And in most cases, it's probably empty threats because the father doesn't want to get himself in trouble. In this case, the fact that I can tell you we're going to play a 911 call would lead you to believe that it's something a little bit different. We'll also get to what Hot Wings thinks. That's in the next segment about Joe Jackson. Wait till you hear what this unbelievable doofus is up to. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
Aaron Rodgers puts it in the right spot. Right there. Oh.
And get some luck, or you just sit on it.
Looks it right into his body.
In a moment, Dad called 911 after he took care of business when he found out that his daughter was having sex with her boyfriend. He was 18. She was 16. Dad very upset when he called 911. We'll have that for you. We'll get to what Hot Wings thinks. The incredibly foolish man, Joe Jackson.
God, is he a piece of work.
Back in the crosshairs this time. If you go to freebeerandhotwings.com, you can see the video of what was without a doubt the biggest hit in the NFL this weekend, the most destructive hit. A guy knocked unconscious for 60 seconds.
Oh, he got so leveled.
In the Tampa-Carolina game. Wait until you see it. That is available at freebeerandhotwings.com. There's also links up to a bunch of other stuff that we've talked about during the radio show today.
Midweek last week, Tyson on Oprah. During that segment, he said, I would really love to be able to say sorry to Evander Holyfield because when I said sorry to him the first time, I wasn't really sorry. They made me do it. So the Winfrey people then have connections. They get Tyson and Holyfield together on Friday. Tyson was as recalcitrant as always about his behavior over the years, and the first part of it seems just a broken, lost soul. So it's all set up. All he has to do is look Holyfield in the face and say, I am sorry that I did this to you.
Yeah.
But let's see. Did Mike deliver Evander Holyfield right in front of him on Oprah Winfrey on Friday, face to face? What's he going to say?
So what do you want to say to him? Because you told me that you told the world last week that apology was not sincere.
No, but what I just want to say, and I just want the world to know that, no one, people who love me don't have to say Evander's this guy, that guy. This is a beautiful guy. Me and this guy both come from basically the sewage, and we watched each other grow to become established and esteemed fighters. You know what I mean? And I just want to know it's just been a pleasure passing through life, being acquainted with you.
Okay. Well, I just want you to know that it's been a pleasure coming through life acquainted with you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he said?
I think he was
I think so.
Trying to sound smart and failed pretty badly. I don't know that it's I don't know if within an apology, if I want to have anyone saying that I came from sewage.
Yeah, that's
it's almost always offensive.
Yeah, I don't think I would want that.
Yeah, I'm not
said that way.
Joe, the next time you make a mistake, would you find it offensive if I said, Joe, it's all right that you made a mistake. You came from sewage.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear it again. Let's hear the whole thing. Iron Mike.
So what do you want to say to him? Because you told me that you told the world last week that apology was not sincere.
No, what I just want to say, and I just want the world to know that, no one, people who love me don't have to say them Vandas, this guy, that guy. This is a beautiful guy. Me and this guy both come from basically the sewage, and we watched each other grow to become established and esteemed fighters, you know what I mean? And I just want to know it's just been a pleasure passing through life, being acquainted with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think Holyfield, after the show, said to his friends, he still didn't say he was sorry?
He didn't really apologize there. But
what a dope. Come on, Mike. Everybody's just starting to like you again, and then you went into full retard again.
I saw a bunch of blogs from people saying, well, it's probably going to be a big deal. They'll probably throw down. I'm like, have you watched any of the other coverage? I think you could punt. Tyson is in such a bad place, or he's trying to get his life so much together, that if you punched him in the face right now and spit in his face, I think he would turn the other cheek.
Boy, is he overweight now, too. He's round.
Yeah.
Mike is round.
Yeah, they're both they've both eaten a little since the days of fighting.
Holyfield heavy, too?
Well, he's
soft.
a little softer, a little heavier than his old boxing days.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
So, listen to this story. This is awful. No one wants to be a part of this. 41-year-old Wade Edwards lives with his wife and 16-year-old stepdaughter in Apopka, Florida, just northwest of Orlando. Last week, Wade came home early from work. His stepdaughter clearly was not expecting him, as the 16-year-old was engaged in sex with her 18-year-old boyfriend, Julian Harp.
Boy.
Okay. All right.
No father wants to see that.
I wonder if he had time. I mean, if they actually heard the door open, at least had time to button up, or did he just walk in silent and actually saw white asses?
Oh.
Guess I don't know if they're white. Could be any color.
Well, he's black, but.
All right. Oh, really? So it's a black boy, white girl. Is that what you're saying? Or just
I don't know.
I'm
just saying the guy who shot. Or the guy, the mad dad is black.
Okay, black dad. Okay,
I'm looking at.
All right.
Well,
doesn't matter.
It's unclear exactly what happened after that, but the gist of it is that Wade grabbed his gun, started shooting at Julian. He was trying to shoot him in his testicles.
Whoa.
I mean, you've heard fathers say, if I ever caught a kid doing that to my daughter, I would shoot his balls off. Maybe not that phrase exactly, but the sentiment has been there.
Gosh, man.
All right. He was truly aiming for that. He, the young man, the 18-year-old, was rushed to the hospital. He's expected to make a recovery.
Did it actually hit his leg or his
ass? It hit him twice in the hips and twice in the thighs.
Oh, so he connected on all shots.
Dad was arrested and charged with attempted murder. He could get 15 years in prison.
Way to go, you idiot.
He placed the 911 call. This is pretty dramatic and hard to understand in some cases because of the emotion.
Oops. Sorry. Didn't mean to step on you there.
911 police, fire medical. Orange County with a transfer reference shooting someone outside his house. Yes. Okay.
022.
Okay. Yes. So what's going on there?
I fell inside my house with my daughter, and I shot him. I was facing my life. Never serious one.
Landline. The victim was.
She was inside my house, ma'am.
Juvenile daughter. Is that the shooter? I've got the shooter landline. At 2022. Okay, sir, calm down. We've got help on the way. I know that must have been very scary. Just stay on the line. Just stay on the line.
Somebody, please.
Okay, how old is your daughter? Is she a juvenile or a teenager?
Yes, she's a juvenile. I think the guy just came out of
Okay, and you walked in on them, and they were there, and he scared you, and you shot them.
trying to fear for my life. I don't know what to do.
Okay.
I grew up here.
Okay, so your daughter knows this gentleman?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Just calm down. I have help on the way. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. It's okay. I'm going to stay on the phone with you till they get there. They're almost there. They're around the corner.
I'm just with my neighbor officer, but I guess he's not there.
I haven't understood.
It's hard to understand.
One word he said.
Did he indicate the one thing that I thought he said? I thought he indicated he was afraid for his life.
That's what he said. He said he thought there was an intruder in his house and he was afraid for his life. He's hysterical. That's all I know. He's beside himself.
I wonder if he was really afraid for.
Hey, what's up, your officer? I just got somebody in the house, bro. Yeah, let me know. What's I'm doing? He was inside my house, man.
Was he doing anything to your daughter, or he was just...
Yeah, in the yellow house right there.
I have no idea what that guy's saying.
No, it's hard to pick it out.
Yeah.
Very heavy accent. I don't know, but I don't think he'll get found guilty of attempted murder.
Well, he could just make it up that he's. I mean, even if he did know what he was doing, he could very easily just say, "Oh."
I mean, it was pretty clear that there was no premeditation there. I mean, unless the guy was waiting outside.
Invite him over.
Maybe.
I hate this kid. Adam in Nashville, what do you think?
Man, I think this guy's my hero, and he deserves a medal, not 15 years in jail. This is a clear case of self-defense. He was obviously raping his little girl.
I don't know about
Whether
that.
it's consensual or not, she's 16.
Oh,
rape,
right.
So.
By the letter of the law, statutory rape is.
And I think blowing his nuts off was too nice for him. To be quite honest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's
I don't know, man.
I'm
not going to condone that.
I'm not going to. I don't know that I can buy into that he's a hero, because even though statutory rape and rape both have the word rape in them, there's a dramatic difference between. Now, what the kid, you could make the argument that what the kid was doing was wrong, but. Man, I had a lot of friends who were 18 who dated sophomores in high school that were 16, and that happened a lot, man.
Besides, his daughter, her feet were in the air. She was into it. Come on. I mean, you don't want to see that, but the fact of the matter is she was a willing participant.
Yeah, the reason they didn't hear him was because they were making a ruckus.
Right.
You two in there making a ruckus? Ah, damn it. Put your shoes on. I hope you're using a rubber.
Oh, go in there and shoot your ass.
1-800-947-3970. Now, that's not to say that if you're a parent and you find this, you wouldn't be incensed with rage.
Oh, God. I don't know how I'd react.
Frankly, if they were both 16,
you guys,
you'd be furious.
So far,
or 18 for that matter.
So far, I am lucky, and I will not end up having to deal with that because I have a boy.
Right.
Well, you might encounter that. He may be putting it to someone.
But it's just different. I mean, it would be.
Well,
it's just different.
If you come home
catching my son, if he's 18 years old or whatever, and I were to catch him, it would be devastatingly awkward, awful for a number of reasons. But unless it was like his teacher or something that was really awful, but it wouldn't be the same. If he was 18 and he was having sex with a 17-year-old girlfriend, it wouldn't be the same as walking in on your 17-year-old daughter getting plowed. It just wouldn't.
I'd be mortified the same either way. I'd be like, oh, God, great. Now I got to deal with this.
I think there's clearly a double standard, though, because if you catch your daughter with an 18-year-old guy and she's 16, you're mad at your daughter and the guy.
Yeah.
If you catch your son, you're probably just mad at your son.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I would be mad and I would be mortified that was going on in the house and a number of other things, but I still wouldn't have the same reaction as I would if it were a girl, if it was my daughter.
1-800-947-3979. Let's see. This is Jimbo. Hi, Jimbo.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Hey, about 6 years ago, I caught my 16-year-old with her 18-year-old boyfriend. They're not together anymore, but I caught them. And I called the county cops and the state cops. I live in Michigan, and it's a county just north of Kent County.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they said there was nothing that they can do because as long as my daughter was a consenting adult, there was nothing that they can do even though she's 16.
I guess it just depends on what the age of consent is for a variety of states or whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what to do.
And I wanted to just literally take him out, but it's one of those fine lines where do you do something to him and spend the rest of your life in jail, or do you let the law handle it? And I feel as though this guy should have let the law handle it because he's going to be in some deep water.
Yeah, he didn't do anybody any favors with what he did because now his daughter's not going to have her stepdad there or everything else.
Nope. No, it's like when you get your wife cheating, it's that fine line. Do you risk everything and do away with the dude or not?
Yeah. Thank you, Jimbo. In that particular case, you should at least be allowed to punch the kid in the mouth.
I got a friend.
And it should just be okay. You punch him and go, stay away from my daughter. The old school, that should be okay.
I got a friend who's in his 50s. He's got a daughter who's in her mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And in listening to him, it's an interesting dynamic, and that's his only child.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that he deliberately went out of his way to be mean and rude, just a little, to keep any boy off guard. He would never get chummy with them. He would be abrasive and short.
Even if they dated for an extended period of time.
Absolutely. And just so that they never got the urge to do something that he didn't want them to do, so that they were always wondering, boy, how would he react if he found out? And I thought that was brilliant. He so played mind games with these guys.
Yeah.
He said when a boy would come to his house, he'd squeeze their frickin' hands so hard they would start shaking. Just a little bit too tight.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was awesome.
I had dads do that when they
just be
go to pick somebody up.
A little bit of a jerk.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do that. That's
Heck
what I
yeah.
think is fun.
Yeah. Not only that, we were suggesting to your daughter one night when we were all over to your house. Joe was over and I was over. Hot Wings wasn't there. We were suggesting that we should actually, she should have to get her boyfriends approved when she gets to that point by not just you, but by all of
On
us.
the
We should
radio.
all get to go there
God.
and be a-holes.
That would be so much
Yeah.
fun. I would enjoy that.
Pass
a
the
lot.
sniff test.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwigs.com.
Here's what Hot Wings thinks. Hot Wings. What Hot Wings thinks.
Free beers, Zane, and listeners. What do you get when you mix equal parts disgust and amusement? My reaction to Joe Jackson and his latest display of self-absorbed craziness. This guy makes sitcom characters seem normal. He's such a dirtbag genius that he has actually found a new way to exploit Michael's death and his upcoming movie at the same time.
Impressive.
I know. What better way than to have a fundraiser for yourself?
What?
In Vegas at the Palms on October 27th. He'll hold a special screening of This Is It the night before the movie opens worldwide. For the privilege of seeing it early at Joe Jackson's Platinum VIP event. You will only have to part with $3,000.
Oh, my God.
If that already seems like a good deal, know that you will also get to meet Joe Jackson. Well, whoopee! Who would pay this decrepit fossil $3,000 for the honor of hanging with his pencil-thin mustache and beat-up Elwood Blues fedora? To me, Joe Jackson is so disgusting, so vile, so deplorable that he's hilarious. What a scumbag. He makes John Gosselin look like Father of the Year. The movie trailer has been edited and now starts with Joe Jackson talking.
No.
And then ends with a voiceover from the theater saying, on August 29th, 2009, we honored the King of Pop. On October 27th, 2009, we will honor his father.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Are you serious? This is unbelievable.
Yes, I'm
Brutal.
serious. Barf. Yeah, let's honor his father for his long history of child care. I mean abuse. He's an exploiter and a dickweed. No one likes him except for other dickweed exploiters like Al Sharpton. I hope one of his other kids dies, just so I can see how he manages to exploit them for his own gain, too. Plus, how can you get enough of a guy who wears a gold chain and medallion on the outside of a shirt, tie, and pinstripe gangster suit? You rock, Joe Jackson. Thanks for making the rest of us seem pious by comparison. I love me more because you're such a creep. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. More of the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show is next.
.97.9 GRD, Grand Rapids Rock Alternative, the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Some sun this morning, increasingly cloudy, later 56 the high. It's about 50 now, downtown GR. And the Grand Rapids Marathon this weekend. Saying your brother Push-Up Paul competed.
Yeah, he did. Sorry to anybody who interacted with him. Behaved like a jackass.
That's his thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's known for. It's his idiom.
Apparently. The race is a great race, man. Don Kern and his crew puts this thing on, and it's a great race. It's a nice course. You run through downtown for about 3-4 miles, and then you take off and you head, I believe it's down Wealthy, around the Coca-Cola plant, go into that field, and then you're down Indian Mounds, and then you come back. So you get the whole thing along the river, the scenery, twisting, and not too bad at hills. Pretty good time, apparently. A lot of people were in the race this year, more so than I think they've had in the past. So that's pretty cool.
Now, the other side of the state, the same marathon you ran, what, was it 3 years ago at this point?
2006 that I ran this
3
marathon.
years ago. In Detroit.
Uh-huh.
Unbelievable. 3 people died.
Yeah.
While competing in this marathon.
Unbelievable is amazing. I believe they happened in the half, because I was talking to in the half marathon. I was talking to Barnaby, and he said that they were in fact all running the half marathon. Autopsies expected today on a 36-year-old runner from area near Lansing. Also a 65-year-old man from Marietta, Ohio, and another man, John Fenlon, from Waterford, Michigan. He was just 26, all running the half marathon. 3 runners died despite rapid response. All in 16 minutes of each other is when it all happened. That is incredible.
And more than likely, and just coincidence, I mean, very, very, very likely that it's all just coincidence that they all had it happen. But
yeah, there's a lot of people competing.
So many.
The fact that there's even one is a shock to me, frankly. But
yeah.
It says that marathon doctors and race officials said rapid, state-of-the-art resuscitation was provided. I'm guessing it was one of those defibrillators.
Mm-hmm.
14 doctors on the team of more than 60 health workers, and nothing could be done for them.
Wow. Yeah, I would be interested to know what their background was.
Interesting story. The name John Fenlon is historic in the Detroit Tigers. Do you remember when Magglio Ordonez hit that home run in 2006 to send them to the World Series?
Yeah, against the A's.
The youngest guy of the deceased is the guy who caught his home run ball.
You're kidding.
No. He was in the stand. John Fenlon, the 26-year-old guy from Waterford, made headlines in 2006 when he caught the home run ball hit by Mags that sealed the Tigers' sweep of the Oakland A's, sending them to the World Series.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I mean, whenever, in most cases, when people die young, certainly, it's always a shock. But the idea that someone would go to the marathon, you'd be more convinced they'd be in danger from a traffic standpoint or in Detroit crime standpoint, which obviously not during the marathon is likely.
Yeah.
But the idea that they're just going to keel over while running is pretty far from your mind in most cases.
Yeah, man, that's frightening.
Yeah, I wonder if this was just a freak accident or if these were people who had no business running a marathon.
Right, and that does happen.
Because that does happen more and
Absolutely.
more, too.
God.
It's amazing how many people I know that have started to really run marathon. Not just you, but a number of people. And
I did one. Don't include me in this.
And pretty much in most cases, everybody that I know also trained really well for it. They were prepared for it. But you get some people, and I think based on shows like Celebrity Fit Club and Biggest Losers, and they put them through these strenuous, rigorous things, and people go, well, hell, I don't look like that. I can do that. That'd be a great challenge. I'm going to go out and do it. And they don't really train, or if they do a little bit, they don't train properly, and their bodies are just not ready for it. That is such a crazy strain on a human body.
Zane, you were talking about your brother Paul, his training method, the fact that he doesn't eat for 17 hours before, and then he drinks beer. And
he scares me, man. He frightens me to death. And boy, does he look like he's dying out there. When he's trudging through.
Even when we were at the triathlon at Reed's Lake, which obviously a triathlon, intense competition, there were some people that came across the finish line where you're like, well, damn, good for you. But at the same time, where you're kind of like, oh man, that's a lot of stress on that ticker carrying all that weight.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay if they walk, or if they don't get their heart rate up too high.
Yeah.
But in some cases, a lot of people, you would say, how much would it take for you to get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather? I ain't doing that. That'd be stupid. I'm not prepared for that. But they go out and run a marathon.
Oh, yeah.
And that's an incredible toll. It's just not physical on the outside of your body. You don't see a big bruise. You don't get knocked out.
But Hot Wings, everyone knows how to run.
Oh, it's brutal.
It's kind of I think that's the thinking.
Yeah, because it's it's simple in theory.
Yeah.
But man, when you haven't done it, I mean, hell, just get yourself on an elliptical or something. I did this the other day while I was working out with the trainer. He got me on an elliptical, and I'm running like 8.5 mile an hour backwards, and I thought I was gonna barf, and all I had to do was for like 3 minutes, and it's just a killer.
Not 4.5 hours.
And and I'm in fairly good shape. I mean, so some people, but I don't know that may not be the case with these two runners. It might just be a freak accident that happened to them. But
there are people who, the ones who really struggle are the ones that are really working hard. They're the heroes. I was talking with my brother Paul about this yesterday. In these races, man, you should see the looks on their faces. These people that it takes them. I mean, they really struggle. Like there was we were at where I was with the Striders people was the 23-mile mark for the marathon, and also the 10-mile mark for the half marathon.
Okay.
And there were people passing us on their 10th mile who were getting passed by the leaders, the 23-milers.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to run.
Wow.
That's how slow they were going.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I'm like, what? Seriously? Why don't you work on a few 5Ks or something? Get those under your belt before you tackle the half.
Well, even like when you did the marathon last time, your body, you were in the ringer when you did the one marathon in Detroit 3 years ago.
Oh my God.
You were in the ringer for months. Like the impact it had on your body, Zane.
Oh my God! Well,
that injuries that you had to cope with and stuff. I mean, it was great that you finished it, but you regretted it. I think at least on some level.
I hate marathons. They're terrible. Halves, all right, I can handle a half. Even the 25K, the Riverbank, I'm all for that. I'm wasted at the end of it. I'm pretty beat up, but. Okay, but it's such a different ball game when you're looking at 11 freaking more miles. That stuff's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I had signed up for this race, this Grand Rapids. I was going to run it.
The full.
Yeah, and then it got down to crunch time, and I go, you know what? My foot is so screwed up. Forget it, man. I'm not doing that. I'm done. I'll just cheer. I'll ride my frickin' bike and cheer Paul on as he plods away. So, yeah, that was something.
Yeah. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. Michigan squeaked by Delaware State on Saturday. 63-6.
Yeah.
Again, I mentioned this earlier. I love going to college football games. I love going for the atmosphere. But I hate going to a game where I know it's just going to be somebody getting their head beat in.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not worth it to me. Now, I don't go and get have a big party. I don't go and tailgate for hours. Maybe if I was going and doing that, and then we just went to the game sort of as the afterthought, which I think a lot of people do when they go to like big college football games. That would be different. But the idea of going in and cheering and singing the fight song and enjoying the game, it seems crazy to me. Like, oh, God, thank God we're up 28-0 over Delaware State.
Yeah.
That's boring.
That's the thing. It would be great fun for about the first quarter. First score, maybe the second score.
Hell, this game was 21-0 after 5 minutes.
You'd be like, boy, I don't know. Yeah, so that's when you go. You just leave at that point. You go back out onto the golf course there next to the stadium and start boozing.
It's one thing when a team that should be on their schedule comes to town and they're just not very good. Even when they beat up on an Eastern or something like that, I can live with that. But when they start dipping down and just getting the payday so they can have somebody there to beat their face in. And Michigan, certainly, they're not even close to being the only ones who do that. Everybody's doing it these days.
We got to talk about Michigan State before we talk about the state's best team.
Mm-hmm.
And state winners.
I thought they were in trouble. Down 7-0 at the half.
Yeah, I know. They finally got it together and ended up pulling that one out. And they needed that because now everybody pretty much still has a chance at the Big Ten.
Really? Even Michigan and Rich Rodriguez is saying that maybe we got a chance now. We could go 10-2 and compete, but they have 2 conference losses, which is way worse. But yeah, Michigan State, if they beat Iowa this weekend, they could control their own destiny for the Big Ten title.
God, I was so delighted to see Ohio State lose to Purdue.
It's been a long time since Ohio State lost they hadn't lost a road game in the conference in a really long time.
Yeah, it was forever. Way longer than I had even realized.
17, 18, 19 games, something like that.
Man.
But, guys, the only game that mattered really was the Central Western game. Historic rivalry at Waldo Stadium with subpar announcers and no HD.
Boy, watching a game now in non-HD, especially a game like that, it's like worse than what regular TV was 2 years ago. I mean, it's like it's still even below that. It's like video camera, bad cable access kind of. And so to flip back and forth and see the contrast between like a good Big Ten game in HD or whatever and go back to that and you go,
I couldn't even tell if Dan Lefevre was white or not. It was so bad.
No, and at the beginning of the game, God, it was such a bummer. When the game started, like the first 2 minutes, all you could hear were the booth announcers and no crowd.
Mix
and I go,
in a
my
crowd
God.
mic.
I'm like, are they just in a studio somewhere and
Not
they're
out of
actually
the
just
question.
watching it on TV?
Not out of the question.
And that's what I thought. I go, well, maybe they are. Oh no, this is terrible.
They did show them on the field in pregame.
They did?
Okay,
yes.
I didn't see them.
Okay.
In
But
pregame.
boy,
so.
and then did you notice if you watched the game on TV, and a lot of people obviously went to the game, and if for the Western fans left early. Boy, they streamed out of there.
Well,
Boy, they sure did. That place was empty.
Because they don't support their team.
It sounded like in the second half of that broadcast, they were doing the broadcast next to a dot matrix printer because all you heard was,
oh, no.
Oh, boy. I'm like, oh, God, please stop.
The teletype is on.
That's what it sounded like.
So 4 years in a row, Central has made Western their bitch, as it should be. Western leads the overall series.
43, 36, and 2.
Something like that. Yeah, that's it. And
but I mean, who cares about those games that happened in the 30s?
4 years in a row,
Seriously.
Western. How you like that?
Last time that happened, at least for CMU's favor, was the mid-'80s, like 83 through 86.
Did you see when Bloor intercepted that ball and was carrying the ball like a loaf of bread?
I'm like, tuck it in, stupid.
He doesn't need to. His fingers went into the ball. It's deflated. He's so strong.
He was saying in the post-game coverage on CMU's radio, I don't really know a lot about carrying the football. I was on the O-line in high school and played linebackers, so they didn't give me the ball very much. So I just did what felt right. But
I was impressed that he switched hands away from the defender, though. That was good.
He was
a smart player.
Sweet, man.
That was great. There were a couple of awesome hits in that game, too.
There were some big hits.
That one guy, I don't know who it was for CMU, that got sandwiched. That was a
Cody
bad
Wilson.
one. And then I think it was Bloor that laid some guy out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Cody Wilson, I think.
Killer.
It was a good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. I enjoyed watching that.
Central getting votes for the top 25 in all the polls.
The last time
BCS, AP, and USA Today.
The last time they started out with this good of a record at 6-1 was 1984.
Right on. And don't blow it now, for God's sake.
Don't go on the road and lose to Bowling Green.
Yeah, don't lose to some team that you shouldn't lose to. And then they got to go. I think the last big deal is also if they beat, you said Boston College on the road?
They got Bowling Green next, and then they go to Boston College. Bowling Green's on the road, too. And then they have home games against Toledo and Northern Illinois. And they go to Ball State. So there's a laudable, that's not a word. There's a lot of trap games that are left.
Oh, man. God, don't blow it. Because, see, what I want to happen is because, a lot of times, because were they MAC champions? They were MAC champions last year, weren't they?
No, not last year, but both of the years before that.
And when they historically have been playing Big Ten teams, it seems, every year when they go to a bowl game.
They played Purdue in 2006 or 2007.
Didn't they play them 2 years in a row? And then they played like South Florida or something?
The bowl games were Middle Tennessee State, which they won. They lost on a last-second field goal to Purdue. Then they lost to Florida A&M.
Okay. Oh, did they play Purdue in the same season?
In the regular season. They actually played Purdue 3 times in 11 months.
Okay, that's what it was.
I want them to play Michigan. I want Michigan to fall on their face just a little bit more, just a bit, and then Central to play the frickin' Wolverines and say that they can kick the ass of every school in the state this year.
That would be something.
Eastern, Western, Michigan, and the filthy Spartans. Go Chips!
Could you imagine if they met the Spartans? If the Spartans
in the
fumble
motor.
just enough and
A little rematch.
I mean, they're 4-3.
Yeah.
It's not.
Dispatch them.
If CMU wins the conference, they'll end up going to Mobile, Alabama for the GMAC Bowl.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I'm going to go.
And who do they?
And I'll have been off for the better part of 3 weeks if that happens.
Is that a game where they just they invite any team, or is it the winner of a
it'd
conference?
Be the seventh place team from the ACC, I believe.
The seventh place team.
The Little Caesars Bowl gets the 8th team from the Big Ten. And since the Big
What?
Ten schedules teams
God.
like Delaware State and Wofford,
Oh, boy.
they can have a good enough record that they can get a team in, because most of the teams schedule bad non-conference teams, so you're guaranteed 4 wins. You only got to win 2 conference games to get a bowl game.
I cannot believe that there's bowl games taking 7th and 8th place teams in conferences that are 10, 11, and 12 teams deep. What?
Well, I think last year it got up to 34 bowl games.
And
if memory serves.
They're adding another one.
Oh, my God.
I mean, so well over half of the stupid D1 teams make it into a bowl game.
Yeah. Well, there's the one bowl where Navy's already booked to play in it for like 3 years in a row. They just go, yeah, Navy's in.
That's just so pointless.
Take Navy. It's the Armed Forces Bowl. Navy, come play.
I remember when I looked forward to bowls, and it was like actually an accomplishment to get to go to a bowl.
It still is for a lot of teams. It's
Well,
still
yeah, for the sucky ones that never make it. But I mean, how bad you have to be in a terrible conference, or a really bad team. I mean, if they're taking like the 7th and 8th seeds from 10 team conferences.
Mhm. Well, the ACC has what, 14, 12 or 14 teams. So they're not as bad.
No.
I mean, you could get a
At least
team.
they're going to have a winning. I mean, they're not going to have a losing record, right?
No,
I mean,
you got to win
there's
at least 6 or 7, I think.
Okay.
I think it's 6. But like they could end up playing Clemson. Clemson's a good team.
Yeah, Clemson would be okay, I guess.
You know.
Doesn't matter. They're going to win them all.
It won't matter.
They're going to freaking win. I am so on the bandwagon for my chips. I'm just glad I went to the school so that I can really root, you know?
Thank God you cheated on that ACT test.
Thank God, man. Thank God the dorks at Eastern wouldn't allow me in. How's that? I didn't get into the most retarded school in the state.
You didn't get in?
I didn't get accepted.
Oh, jeez.
I sent applications to 3 schools, and none accepted me except for Central. God bless the chips!
Well, that ends up being an insult for our school.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It really is.
I think they've raised the standards.
Yeah, well, I scored an 18 on my ACT.
Because Eastern.
But
well,
I did
things
again,
must have turned around for you. Maybe they
I
were
cheated
okay
up
at
that
some point.
Korean kid that was next to me, man. He scored he got like a 30 on it, and I couldn't even cheat right. I got an 18. How the hell did I manage that? I copied what he did.
You know what Marissa got on the ACT?
Probably a 30.
She couldn't get in to get the test. She got like in a fender bender or couldn't find a parking place and got a ticket. Something stressed her out on the way, and so she got a 31, and she thought she could do it better, so she went and took it again and got a 33.
Jeez.
Now, if I got a 31 the
You
first
probably
time,
kissed every boy on the way in.
Oh, kisses for you. I like you. Oh, you're handsome. Oh, hey, want to flirt?
Yeah, why bother doing better than a 31?
Yeah.
What are you going to get into a better dorm at the awesome school you get accepted to? God.
You think I can kiss more nerdy guys? Ooh.
I get to think maybe she got to kiss anyone with a lower score than her. It's very important.
Yeah, well.
JT's in next.
There's a guy that gets kissed a lot.
Oh, yeah, and he got a 4.
No, he ate the test.
Oh, yeah, JT. Ooh, boy, there's 2 things that couldn't seem more further apart. Education and JT. Yeah, you filthy Flint education.
A new level of insults today for JT. JT's in next. It's 97.9 GRD.